Hello everyone, we are Art of War.
And we believe in creating a community where people can talk about, learn, and improve their skills at Warhammer 40K.
Our channel has live stream competitive matches of 40K, played by the best players in the world.
And we focus on teaching you how to get better at Warhammer, while also emphasizing sportsmanship and engagement with our audience.
We strive to play every faction in the game to a top level, while also using a variety of lists to show off different playstyles for every faction.
We also offer a variety of other videos such as Codex reviews, faction rankings, tactics videos.
When you join our channel, you become part of our community, where we emphasize learning and positive conversation about competitive 40K.
You get early access to our videos, sub badges, emotes, as well as rewatch those hangout and hobby sessions.
Joining our community is a great way for you to show your support for us, so we can keep making awesome videos for you and continuously expand the bounds of competitive 40K.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Hangout and Hobby. I'm Richard Siegler.
I'm John Lennon.
The John Lennon.
The John Lennon.
He's here working on a crusading force.
I am indeed. Painting up some Space Marines today. Getting a little bit of white into my very classic traditional white and blue Templars. Right? I think that's a chapter. The white and the blue Templars.
The white and blue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were on Armageddon, defending Terra. They've been around, they do all kinds of things.
They're led by High Marshal White and Blue.
High Mara Hall himself, yeah. Alright, how are you doing today, Siegler?
I'm doing well. I'm working on Cerberus Raiders.
Cerberus Raiders. Unfortunately, we are not joined today by Nick Nanavati, who normally would be paying up and painting some Harlequins, but today I was feeling the Space Marine magic, so I was inspired perhaps by all of the pictures that dropped in the last 2 days of all these Black Templar rules we're getting.
Ton of stuff.
Ton of stuff. Primaris Helbrecht. You know what, that makes me happy. That dude, did you see that model?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
That looks
It's
sweet.
based off that old artwork.
Yep.
That looks really awesome.
Yeah, I was very, very pleased to see how that one came.
They've been nailing the Primaris characters for the most part.
Yeah, honestly, they all look really, really good.
Like Mephiston looks great. Then Crow looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's Primaris characters. Crow?
He is a Primaris character, literally in the armor.
I still... I have to wonder, what happened there. They were like, hey, make a new Crow model. And they're like, yeah, we're making a Space Marine. We're going to give him Mark 10 armor. He's going to be, an extra, inch taller than everyone else. It's going to be great. And then they put out the sculpt and they're like, whoa, this guy's Primaris. They're like, yeah, all the Space Marines are Primaris, right?
Yeah.
And then someone in GW was like, no. The Grey Knights were not supposed to be Primaris. Can we change this? They're like, it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
We've got to change the entire...
we've already, made the mold, and they're like, oh, okay, Crow is Primaris, and we're just going to pretend this didn't happen.
Grey Knights will eventually get a model update. Who knows what edition, but I assume they will all be Primaris-sized. Maybe
because, they got their whole thing in 5th edition, was when they got their really large redo.
They got the Dread Knight, they got the new plastic boxes for the Terminators and the Strikes. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but also there's a couple armies that really could use it more. So not mad about Grey Knights waiting a little bit.
No, not mad about it. I just assume it will come at some point.
I could see it. Maybe the next Codex will have some love for them.
Draco needs a serious update now. He is extremely small compared to
Draco definitely needs some love.
Crow the Legend.
Have you guys seen my keys?
Nick has lost his keys.
Nick has lost his car keys.
And
we're gonna play a TV show called Nick's Clues. Nick, can you help us find the car keys? He's closed the door on me. I deserve that, but I also will not apologize. We need a talking dog to help Nick find his keys. Unfortunately,
we do have one.
We do. So maybe we need more than that.
Definitely need something that's color coordinated. Something flashy, designed for...
Honestly, I think what we actually need is just a single hook where Nick can hang his keys every day. You know?
We have one of those, John.
Oh,
it's just,
that's where my keys are every time. Gosh. Where are Nick's keys, I wonder?
Nick is the only man to walk out of the house, get in the car, and not realize that his wallet isn't in there until he all of a sudden randomly checks.
I am curious what the timing on that was.
Yeah, like how do you suddenly realize? Like as soon as you go out, you touch your pockets. I got
it's
everything.
The pocket slap. Everyone knows the pocket slap. It's like just nice comforting. You hit them both, you know what's in there.
Grey Knights managed to take first place with a 100-person tournament and a 30-person tournament. They have been kicking butt this last week.
Yeah,
It's
Grey
great to
Knights
see.
had a really good weekend here. This was the first weekend of like really strong results for the new codexes, and Grey Knights definitely taking charge there. So what's interesting is Grey Knights had a pretty strong win percentage over the weekend.
Yep.
They're already passing Sisters. They were actually almost even with Admech. And Drukari had the highest win rate. However, Drukari did not win an event this weekend, and Grey Knights and Admech each won 2. So that was kind of interesting. So maybe I think Drukari are just across the board doing very well, whereas those pilots that are putting the reps in are doing quite well with Grey Knights and Admech so far.
Wasn't one of the Admech wins Manny running the flyers with all the Rangers?
He was running 6 flyers, yeah.
Yeah. That gets brutal.
That's a thing that
Don't
happens.
want to go second against that.
You know what? Some people did, and I don't think any of them were happy about it.
But yeah, Grey Knight's doing well. I love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I may even be painting Grey Knights on this stream.
Ooh, that's true. I was painting some Grey Knights this morning. There's always a little bit of Grey Knight action to be done.
I am ready to get those Grey Knights on the table again. They had a great performance against Nick's Harlequins Drukari, and I think that type of archetype is extremely strong.
Are you thinking of flying them sometime in the future yourself, as far as tournaments go?
Possibly, quite possibly.
I've got a lot of armies that I kind of want to play in 2 months, and I'm struggling with what to play right now.
It's just a nice change of pace, too.
That's true. I'm sure I would be very bored if I played Admech that much.
I love Admech, though.
Unfortunately, yes, you
I
do.
love this rule set.
To everyone else's displeasure.
But
Seeger's like, if I have twice as much fun, that means that the net fun has not changed if my opponent has 0 fun. This is good.
Nick just left and we're in the other room, so she just wants to be out.
That is a sad puppy in the background. Unfortunately, this puppy has been known to consume items, so she can't be in the paint room with us. Although
She destroyed a Death Jester. Nick's Death Jester is gone.
Yeah, I wonder. Do we think is that somewhere that we could show off? So I would be interested in showing off Dead Eldar.
I don't think it's in here.
No, it's a pity. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where it would be. I mean, it is useless and beyond repair, but that doesn't mean it's been thrown out. So
Don't worry, the Death Jester's in the same spot anyway.
yeah,
We're gonna need to use him for a while.
that's unfortunately probably true.
Let's see. Is Nick playing Grey Knights this week? He is. He wants to try his hand at the Grey Knights.
Mm-hmm. He's playing them on in 2 stream games this week. He actually really likes how the army plays, so I think he's gonna be trying it out.
Yeah, Nick too. You know, we had Nick Rons. Now we've got
The
Brother
Grey
Captain.
Grey Nicks.
Brother Captain Nick showing up once more.
Captain.
It's just Nick gets beat on by armies, then he's like, all right, I gotta play this brokenness. And,
I'm still shocked that we haven't gotten him to bust out White Scars again.
we did in practice game. To be
We
fair.
we did get him. We've gotten him to play the odd game here and there. It's true.
We're also getting him to play into some knights, right, John?
We are gonna have not this week unfortunately, but I believe next week there will be a showdown between the Imperial Knights and the Drukari. Something that I personally have been planning for a long
Generations in the
time.
making.
No, not for generations. Just the household swore an oath of vengeance against Nick, and now that Dark Technomancer is not part of his list, the time to strike is now. If there's one thing I hate, it's a rack squad soloing an Armiger. That happened. Wasn't pleased. He's like, oh, if you think about it, 9 wounds is actually average. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. 9 hits is average. Go away.
That was the time Nick with his boxcar rolls on the racks.
When he back-to-backed me,
Yeah.
boxcars, I was like, stop.
And
He's like, well, I rolled a snake eye when I needed to kill 1 guardsman, so it averaged out. Like, stop.
What's he running for Grey Knights? Very similar to the list I ran on stream. He liked a lot of the concepts I was working with, and
Who can blame him?
made some tweaks on that. So expect to see the Dread Knights.
You know what? I am so pleased to see Dread Knights in action.
I mean,
Those stupid
terrible last edition.
Those stupid baby carriers are so cool. I hate them so much, and I'm just very happy to see them again. They're so dumb, but I love them, and they're just dumb in the most 40k way possible. You know?
Yeah, they could have made the guy fully encased in there, and then made it just a
No.
large dreadnought.
They could.
That would have been awesome. Like the.
But then you would be
Custodians
-1 damage.
Yeah.
And is that what you need? No.
Yes.
No, it's not. You need to cast powers and have 4 Penfold. And that is good enough for government work. No, the Dread Knight's awesome. I'm happy to see that thing back in action, and I will eventually get sick of it in about a month or two. But for right now, I am happy.
Get Drago back from the warp, but he's encased in a Dread Knight.
The Drago Knight.
The Drago Knight.
I would be willing to play against the Drago Knight.
Supreme Drago.
Supreme Drago Knight. Good old.
How's it going, Tim? Taking Knights and Plagueburst Crawlers for a spin. 1 Majera, 3 Morax, 3 War Dogs, 3 Plagueburst Crawlers, and a Chaos Lord. That is a very interesting list.
Why a Chaos Lord? Is there anything there that benefits from a Chaos
Well,
Lord?
he needs a detachment,
Oh, yeah.
so he's going with the Spearhead, so he needs an HQ. He could take the Plaguecaster.
That malignant plague caster in there.
Could go for the Demon Prince. Really put a ton of points into some.
Wasn't gonna go as far as the Demon Prince, not gonna lie to you, Seeks.
You can put the different things on him. Or no, okay, I guess if your Warlord is from that, can you buy relics for Death Guard?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need a Death Guard Warlord.
So-
I assume you'd have a Night Warlord, though. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You don't really need, Death Guard.
Chaos
Warlords.
Knights actually have some good traits and
Yeah,
relics.
Definitely, I would go Chaos Knight Warlord. All-Star Attachment is going to cost 6 CP if you don't have the Warlord there. So let's make that the free one.
Yeah. Matt's got 2 more Dread Knights to finish before LGT this weekend. Godspeed.
Ooh, more Dread Knights for LGT? Awesome. Wish we could make it across the pond. You know, it was on my list. I was actually, I was really hoping that we'd be able to go this year. But then just it did not seem realistic. So perhaps next year, I would love to go to LGT sometime.
Yeah, hopefully the Las Vegas team event isn't around the same time.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the same week. Because if so, then it will. I don't know if I could ever skip a team tournament. Is the problem. But maybe if they don't line up sometime in the future, we'll be able to make it happen.
That was just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, that's the reality of it.
What order would you pick to run a mono order sisters list?
Ooh, mono order sisters list. I have to stay Bloody Rose, honestly. Bloody Rose just brings so many buffs to the table. Ebon Chalice and Martyred Lady definitely have upsides, but if I'm just going one order, I feel like it's got to be Bloody Rose to start.
Just take the absolute best one. Sisters hit hard in combat. Just
Make
rely
sure
on
that
it.
they hit hard in combat.
Yeah.
Because sisters usually hit hard in combat because everyone's used to Bloody Rose, but that one time I tried out Argent Shroud or Pencha and I went in, I'm like, hold on, I'm only 10 attacks. What is happening here? And I had memories of 20 attacks, 20 hits, and suddenly it was like, yep, you just got 8 hits. I'm like, this is not the same.
But if you're Armored Lady, you could get the Smash Canoness. And she smash.
Martyred Lady would be my second choice there. Even though I don't think they fit as well into a soup list, I think they would be my second choice if I'm going pure. They're definitely a little trickier than Bloody Rose, but maybe a Hero Hammer Martyred Lady list could have some merits.
Like the one that you had run?
Yeah, kind of something similar to that. I think that list concept could be refined. It was definitely an early take initial draft, but perhaps there's something there.
You guys had a look at any of the lists from the LGT? If so, thoughts on a winner?
Ooh, I actually have not. I didn't realize that they were published already.
No, but if you have a link.
If you have a link, send it our way.
But I'd be interested, do we know who's going for sure? I imagine most of the top players in the UK.
Yeah, I think almost every one of the top UK players is going. I think Matt Robertson is actually bringing Triple Lord of Skulls.
What? He was doing so well with Sisters.
Yes, but honestly, on the terrain that has been previewed, I probably would not be playing Sisters either.
Really? Even with Bodyguard keyword, it's that bad?
Yeah, I would not be playing Sisters on that terrain. So he's going Triple Lord of Skulls. I think Manu Chima's busting out something along the lines of a bunch of AdMech planes. He actually, I'm not sure about that, but since he played it this weekend, I would assume that was a test to see if he could get away with it for
Yeah. No, it's how many rounds? 7?
So I think it's weird. I think it's 5 rounds, and then they cut to top 4.
Cut to top 4.
And keep in mind that after 5 rounds, there will be more than 4 5-0 players.
Yeah.
I believe there will be 20-something.
So you need to just smash people.
Yeah, you need to be getting hundos.
So that is going to lean towards more skill.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the reasons why Matt didn't want to go with Sisters of Battle.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Like the consistent 85 to 90 points.
I love getting like 90 points around, but if you get 90 points around, you just aren't playing. You're just going to be 5-0. You're going to finish in like 10th place, and you'll do well. But I actually don't think that you can post links. Sorry. Shoot.
If you could just tell us where to find it, let's see.
We might be able to dig it up and post it ourselves.
Let's see if Reddit Comp40K has posted the lists as a link. List analyses. That's somebody analyzing them.
You can search London.
Well, I'll just see if it comes up
That's
in the
the
first couple.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Maybe it's in this actual thread. Let's see. I don't see it in there. Let's follow the YouTube rabbit hole and see if we can find a link.
The rabbit hole.
And nope. Okay.
Screw it. Google.
Facebook.
Google. What? Google it.
We'll go straight to the LGT page. Like if it's not published on the LGT Facebook page, where is it going to be published? Boom.
All right, we got them, boys.
LGT. And figure cases. When did they publish it?
I mean, they were due yesterday, so it must have been recent.
Go to their website.
See if they put it in the comments.
If you have outstanding rules questions, their partner.
Check the YouTube comments. I bet he's commented where it is by now.
I deleted that link already, but I went to their website. Their Warhammer 40k GT.
This is quite the adventure.
The gaming packet can be found here.
All right, if I can find it on my phone faster than you can find it on here, I'm going to be mad.
Well,
let's do it.
Where did they publish the lists?
That is a question.
No, it's not in the obvious places. I see lists from last year.
Yeah. And a lot from 2019.
Is it on Tourneykeeper or something like that?
Oh.
Is it only open to participants?
Link on LGT Facebook page, according to David Irving.
Looking.
I don't know. We are.
I see the form for the rules question published yesterday. And their terrains, their different sponsor stuff. And they're requesting you to submit lists. I don't actually see it on here.
Oh, I don't know.
Did they publish it on like the Comp 40K? You know, if you're announcing lists, you should probably just put it on your social media. That would be a really just good idea.
The place to be.
Let's see. Somebody has to post it on Comp 40K. Is this it? Raw list data. All right, here we go. So, who do we want to? All right, just tell us the players you want us to look up. The Facebook page, yeah. They didn't have names attached? Oh, Lord.
What? They don't have names?
What?
Control F like Chima. You didn't put an A, Manny. There you go. Oh, there's 78 Mannies. Oh, Manipulus.
Oh, God.
Chima. You gotta go Chima.
There's no Chimas.
No?
Yep, they didn't put names on them. That's awesome. Well, LGT.
Nope, never mind. I'm not
Sorry.
looking at that.
You're going to have to wait till BCP has them up.
I'm not looking at that.
Yeah, it's just the raw data. That is unfortunate. So, far too many. Apparently, there's like 500 plus lists. So that is not going to happen. But as soon as it's organized and on BCP, we'll have a look.
Yikes. I think there's gonna be like 15 or 16 undefeated players after 5 rounds.
That's gonna feel really bad when you just barely miss out because
fifth place is gonna be.
Well, the fact is, it's just who plays easier opponents on easier missions and just smashes them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oops, I avoided some of the top players, so I didn't have a close game. Great.
Guaranteed, there's gonna be like 2 top players, like what if like Manny and Matt Robertson play? Like no one's getting 100 out of that.
No.
You know, if everyone's doing their job.
Well, honestly, if it's triple Lord of Skulls versus Admech Plains, somebody is getting tabled.
That's fair.
And gonna have a bad
But like,
time.
just if 2 top players bring like good normal lists, like then just hundreds don't really happen on the right mission.
Yeah.
So,
Hundreds are pretty hard.
Hundreds are pretty hard.
14 towel lists. I'm proud of those guys.
14 towel lists.
14.
That is a number right there.
It's not.
How many genes circle?
I don't know. That was somebody just posted. That's Ed. Ed's posting. How many GSC lists, Ed?
Ed. You know, there were some rumors circulating around the internet this morning. Could not get a source on them, so it's hard to say how reliable they are. About a Gene Slur Cult and Custodes Codex that's coming at the end of the year. We know that there's an Imperium and Xenos Codex meet. I don't officially know what they are, but Gene Slur Cult and Custodes would make sense.
The rumor mill has been spot on.
The rumor mill has been spot on. Like, the rumor mill was talking Primaris Black Templars, and here we are.
Tau Pathfinders.
Tau Pathfinder upgrade, and like a new Sisters, like Neophyte style kit.
Yep.
So the rumor mill has been on point enough that I'm kind of inclined to trust it, and
Yep.
I'm very excited if Gene Slur Cult is getting a fresh look.
Here's what I want. Okay, John? You ready for this?
Lay it on me.
GSC come out, meta-changing book.
Tau come out, how to crown them.
You know where I'm going, John?
I know where you're going.
GSC get a limelight for 1 month. Tau comes out right before LVO. Boom.
You know what I hope? I hope Tau do come out before LVO, but after the list deadline.
Right before.
I want you to look at it.
Right
Before it. It's a new meta. You're not getting Tau in time for this.
Getting Tau.
Absolutely not.
New Dark Strider.
Not a chance, good friend.
Why Dark Strider? Why couldn't we do Farsight? Please.
He's probably that's going to be a campaign at some point.
Who knows when? Tau have not been in any of the campaigns.
Not yet, but eventually.
They have not been in any of them.
They were in a campaign in 8th edition and 7th edition, so they will be in a campaign in a while.
What was their 8th edition campaign? They didn't get the
Greater Good.
The Vigilus.
The Greater
No, that
Good.
was Psychic Awakening. But
Yeah, that's a campaign.
get out of here. No, they did not get
They didn't get a Vigilus.
no Vigilus, no Book of Ross.
Well, you know what? We got a Vigilus taken away from us. I wonder, do they still sell Vigilus on the GW website? Could you imagine
I think
if it's just like still on the website?
I have to feel like they do, right? Because it's still legal in
I would be
non-match
so
play.
mad. You kidding me? If they like
You just
still
gotta go to
sell
events
Vigilus.
Allow Legends and Vigilus and stuff. GSC, you're back.
You know, honest to God, literally just giving Gene Slur Cult their Vigilus rules would be enough to like make me like reread them.
Got a new friend to 40k who thinks Deathwatch is cool and wants to play them. How do I convince him? It's not a good place to start.
Wait, why isn't Deathwatch a good place to start?
That was all it said.
Oh, I think that's a... I don't know, I feel like Deathwatch is a good place to start. Space Marines in general are a good place to start.
Marines always get love.
Yeah, Marines always get love. If we're talking purely from a painting perspective, Deathwatch is probably not one of the easiest chapters to paint. But I mean, black, it means that like 75% of it's going to be easy.
Yeah,
It's not like hard. I don't know. I feel like Deathwatch is like a...
I mean, they're a strong chapter right now.
Yeah.
They have a lot of really good rules for this meta. And, you've seen people take John and Jack's archetype of the Dread build and just win.
That thing has been doing well.
So,
Been putting in work. Deathwatch are like actually one of the highest win rates of Marine chapters.
it's a very consistent army.
Mm-hmm.
And it really requires your opponent to be skilled to beat it.
Yeah. It's a good, consistent army. And like I think both a new and skilled player can get a lot out of Deathwatch.
Yeah.
It's got a good mix of elements in there.
When you're a Marine chapter with access to White Scars, you do well.
Yep, but you also shoot hard.
Yes.
That's important.
4 GSC out of 592 lists.
You know what? Hats off.
And those, I assume those are pure GSC.
I am very proud of them. What legends? Are you kidding me?
9 Ridge Runners?
Probably not. I don't even know what I would take anymore.
Yeah, that's...
Someone's asking me, like, what would I take for Gene Slur Cult right now? I'm like, yeah, that is a hard question. Like, Ridge Runners are tough as 5. I don't know what to say to that. You know what? Give Ridge Runners Ramshackle. Who are we kidding here? Ramshackle.
That's what I was gonna say. Like convert it into an
yeah.
orc army. Start throwing squigs on the Ridge Runners.
Oh my
got squig
god,
buggies, baby.
that hurts my soul. Don't
Squig
say that. I
buggies.
can't do it. I'm a proud man. Although I do actually have some orc hybrids. Where right when I was starting Gene Circle, I made my my hybrid metamorphs out of like all of the leftover bits in an acolyte box. Because an acolyte box comes with like 5 bodies and about like 15 pair of arms.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous amount of arms, which is good. You know, a Gene Circle box should have extra arms. So I got like I got like 30 fantasy orcs for like $20 at like a game store. Like used, and I just like snapped all the arms off them. They weren't primed or anything, so it's just gray orcs. I just broke off all the arms, put on a bunch of acolyte arms, and like these beefier guys are my metamorphs. So I have orcolite hybrids, or green stealers, as I sometimes call them.
Chaos orcs.
We're not talking new factions here.
New faction. New Xenos faction. Mark
Chaos
Perry.
orcs.
Chaos orcs.
Classic. what was the introduce?
Nurgle Matt wants his Tau Gundam
Nurgle
army
Matt!
so bad. 9th edition drop now, please. I am right there. I'll be your champion once more, Nurgle Matt.
Nurgle Matt is into Tau?
Loves
Nurgle
Tau.
Matt, what's going on here? I thought we were cool. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Nurgle Matt and I thought we had an understanding.
Nurgle Matt knows what's up.
Oh, Nurgle Matt.
It's time for John to play Space Wolves again.
It again? No.
It's been too long.
No.
We need some
It hasn't.
subscriber matches with John on Space Wolves once more. Get him to run the drop pod too.
Oh my god. You know how like every other month Nick like looks at the wolf and dreadnoughts we still have in the closet and is like, you know what? I think I should be our Space Wolves guy. Like once a month he like picks up the boxes because we have 3 wolf and dreadnoughts just like in the closet.
Yeah.
Still like shrink wrap.
There's that insider info.
Yeah.
for you.
There's that insider info.
3 wolf and dreads.
Yep.
Those poor guys.
Poor wolf and dreads.
They're not terrible.
They're not terrible. They're just also not great. I think I would bust out some wolf and dreads. Right? They're cool.
They are cool.
They're cool.
What about Bjorn? He got
Oh,
smashed
Bjorn?
to death by Mephiston.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You went ham on him.
Whatever. Bjorn is great. Go Bjorn.
Will there be another Art of War hangout this week? So
Only the one.
Only the one this week because we are going to be traveling to the Las Vegas team event.
Yes, I think on Thursday we're beginning our travels there.
Yep. So we got a condensed schedule, which you can see right below. That's what it's looking like. So we had to squeeze a lot of the Worm stuff up and had to make some cuts. But it'll be back the following week. No worries.
Yes, it will.
Marine LGT numbers: 66 Vanilla Marines, Blood Angels 13, Dark Angels 21, Death Watch 10, Grey Knights 29. That's a lot of Grey Knight lists.
Everyone had a granite army. They're just kind of waiting around for it. Okay.
Since they've been sitting in the dust since 5th edition.
Heck yeah. They're ready.
Time is nigh. Wolves with 18.
Hmm.
All right. Space Marines are about 27% of the meta.
Pop off Space Marines.
I saw Drukari was like an absurd amount.
Yeah, how many Drukari players are there?
I think there were like 54.
Oh, that's a
And then
that's
like
a number.
46 Necron players was the next
You know
closest.
what? Go Necrons. Why not?
Yeah,
Right?
they have loyal fans.
Heck yeah, go Necrons.
It just does. Just seems like Deathwatch don't fit the my entire unit is, or should I say the mixed units seem really confusing. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. The great thing is though you can pick only one of them because one of them is actually good, and you could ignore the rest of those data sheets.
It's true. Well, I mean, it depends. You know, this is a new player. They may not be going for the most competitive stuff.
No, but you want speed. That army needs speed, so you immediately go towards the bikes and the Vanguard.
I do like bikes.
11 NID players.
Good for them.
How many 18 Hiveguard lists?
0.
18 Hiveguard, John.
Why would you take 18 high card?
It'd just be trolling.
12 is actually competitive. 18 is just way too many.
How many points is 6?
It's 270.
You could put 18 in there.
You absolutely could. It's just not.
Just trash around them. Some characters.
Yeah, like
good. What about the Harridan?
what? Oh god, don't tempt me. You know I love the Harridan. I do not own a Harridan, but I do not need much of an excuse to spend way too much money on one.
Apparently in the TTS Alpha League there was a double Harridan list with like 27 Rippers.
How do you still have 27 Rippers at that point? How much is a Harridan?
It's like 8 something.
It might be like 800.
Yeah.
16, so 400 points, you take a Neurathrope and as many Ripper Swarms as you're allowed to?
Yeah. And you just fly around with the Harridans. You hope you don't play Dawn of War, because then most of your army isn't doing anything. But boy, when you go...
When you do... Okay. Okay.
That's when you... Because nobody owns 2 Harridans.
That's true. That is a TTS list. If I ever saw one.
You are not going to be owning 2 Harridans anytime soon.
I certainly am.
Like, that's owning 2 Townars. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
Although
I would love to own a Harridan. I really would. But it hasn't seemed like a good time for
If I got a second Townar, could we get it into Nick's room as well?
100%. I mean, why would we not? Like, where else would we put it, right? There's plenty of room in Nick's
Mark of Nurgle Tau piloted by the machine. See?
What?
Synergy.
What? That is heresy on too many levels.
Nurgle Matt says he doesn't own Tau, but is excited for the Tau collectors.
There's
a lot of Tau fans out there.
I will say the Tau faction deserves some love right now.
It is a really hard army to play.
Right now is not in a great spot. I get it. You have the one build that that can be good if you play perfectly, but
yeah, it's like if you play perfectly, even then it's hard.
Yeah.
But I did beat Drukhari players with it, so broken Drukhari too.
Broken Drukhari? Never heard of it.
Thanks so much, Nurgle Matt. We will definitely have a ton of fun in Vegas.
Oh, 100%.
Event.
You know this is happening.
Of all the Space Marine factions out there, they do not have their own book. Who would you like to see get one?
That don't have their own book, would like to see them get one. You know what? I'm going to go with Carcharodons.
Space Sharks?
Or Minotaurs. Like one of the Forge World chapters. I think Red Scorpions would be the most likely because they've gotten by far the most Forge World coverage. But then it's really just a question of is Forge World ever going to make a rulebook again in their life? And apparently not.
It's too expensive to hire somebody to help.
Yeah. Certainly Games Workshop cannot afford that based on the profit numbers. Yeah, I would like to see one of the Forge World chapters get a supplement.
Let's see. I don't know who I would do. Is there any chapter that's pretty central in the lore, but not one of the founding chapters?
I mean, usually it's a second founding chapter, like the Crimson Fists.
Or Flesh Terrors.
Or the Flesh Terrors.
Yeah.
There are, of course, the Forge World chapters are the ones that were involved in some of the biggest campaigns. It's some of the new Primaris chapters.
Honestly, I think we have enough Marine supplements. Let's get some supplements for some other factions.
Oh,
that's the real answer.
What?
It's Marines have enough rules.
That's true.
They don't need more.
That's 100% accurate.
But I'll go with Flesh Terrors because Gabriel Seth has a giant sword.
Gabriel Seth has a giant chainsword, and that should deserve some respect.
They also have an advance and charge relic.
It's like a Terminator armor?
Yep.
You know what's as good as moving 12 inches? 5 plus d6.
Yep. It's brutal.
I feel so bad for the poor soul that actually takes that relic and rolls a 1 in the advance. Cool, so I move 6 inches now. This could have been Artificer armor.
Yep.
Here we are.
Oh boy.
Poor souls.
Some books just don't get relics.
But some do.
Some do. Drukhari got every relic in the game.
Only the good ones, actually.
All the good ones.
Which is funny because Drukhari actually have less relics than almost any other army.
They just happen to be good.
All of them are good. So we didn't notice. Yeah, Drukhari don't have any relic bolt guns, relic combat knives, relic banners.
Relic blast pistol.
Relic blast pistol. No, none of that. It's we're giving you a 3 damage sword. It's also make 2 extra attacks. What?
I think the Indominus box really pulling the Necron numbers up with the new players. Yeah, I definitely think so.
That Indominus box is still one of the best things I've ever made.
It's great value. The models look
How many
great.
of those? We bought 5 of those boxes, right? We went.
I alone bought 5.
You bought 5, and I think I got 2.
Because I wanted both the Marine halves
and the Necron. Yeah,
because for Blood Angels and for that. So
I think I only ended up with 2 Marine halves, but then I ended up buying an extra set of Blade Guard as well. and like it just snowballed. Like, and then I like took the Primaris Lieutenants, made them into Blade Guard. Like,
Yeah.
'cause, we had a couple of those. I'm like, yeah, but it's like it's a dude with Storm Shield. We can make this work. Just replace the pistol hand with another power sword arm from an Intercessor or something.
But they look great. That was a great,
and
great box.
for monopose models especially, that was really well done. How are your Cerberus Raiders coming? Serbies?
The Serbies.
Serbies? Yeah.
I got one more base coat to do on the teal armor, and then I will wash them, and then work on some Grey Knights.
Ah, Grey Knight time. You're not just going to wash them and then just like wait till the string ends?
No, that's
No?
not what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm going to
Alright.
try and be as efficient as possible here.
Fascinating.
Because a lot needs to be done for this team tournament.
That is true. We have bitten off as much as we can chew. It's not more, but about as much.
Those marine numbers indicate about 500 Astartes Volkite Contemptors.
Sounds about right.
Would have never
That
seen.
is, of course.
I love how all
I
these.
feel like that's an exaggeration, but like, what if it's not?
These core relic Contemptors.
Look. I
I
am
have to
A-okay with them nerfing the Volkite Contemptor, with the caveat of something else is given to Marines. Marines, I think are still fine,
They
but
can have Reavers back.
back? When did we have Reavers?
Nick ran them, right?
He actually did.
He really did. They have grappling hooks, John.
I don't have an excuse for that.
They have grappling hooks. Accept it.
I just love that. Like we're like I like picture me and Richard like in our lab coats, like putting a dropper in a bottle, like we have now made the Leviathan indestructible. And Nick's over here like firing a grapple hook at a wall and it's just bouncing off. He's like, yeah, this might work.
This will beat that iron. Then we told them about popping salamanders on the gray shield.
It's like, yeah, that turn you charge in, like, not to worry, my friend. Turn 3 will be alright. It's like, what are you gonna do? Wait till turn 4? Like, get out of here.
You're done.
I mean, he didn't even have con. It's because he can't ride the impulsors.
He's too slow.
It's too slow. Con's too
It's a
slow.
shame if he was too slow. Now Nick gets actual good list device.
Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful thing.
Still, he runs his own weird stuff, and then we have to smash it.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
So there's a lot of.
I mean, what is a good friend for
lot
if
of
not to
pressure
put
on
12
us.
mortifiers into your possessed build?
It's when he runs a Drukhari army without damage, and you're just like, cool, I'm going to give you a 0 on Vital Intelligence. Only time I've ever seen Drukhari not get a single primary point.
That is a rough.
That is-
I've pulled that off once.
Yeah.
I went first with Ultramarines though. So
Yeah, so you have no models to score primary at the start.
yeah, I know. I tailed him turn 2. That was it. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. That's brutal.
Yeah, just put the whole army on the line. Like, let's go, boys.
You don't have enough Dark Lances for this.
Yeah. True, he did not.
Rules for creating Primaris only Ultima founding chapter could be cool. Don't allow them to take non-Primaris units, but give them a little extra flavor.
You know, I would love to see that as like a White Dwarf supplement that doesn't need to be a hardback book. That could be something else though. I love Space Marines, so I actively want that. But I'll admit, sometimes our non-Space Marine playing friends get a little bit salamander green with envy, and that's okay. We can give them some love. Maybe like when all the codexes are out, drop us some Space Marine stuff.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, let's get everybody a codex first before we start.
Yeah, like I love my Space Marines, but at this stage, I would rather get a Genester Codex than Space Marines, because boy golly, do they need that one.
Yes.
Man, what a like hero to zero. Like, how did Genester fall so far?
They started too high in Games Workshop. So.
Sure, but like, what kind of a combo led to us being where we are now? Like, how did this happen? It was like the quadruple nerf, and then Space Marines are out, and we're like, sorry, buddy, we printed these nerfs 6 months ago. Have them. And I'm like, no.
I mean, Tau were in a relatively similar boat. Is like they got serious points increases at the start of the edition.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of their key rules simply because
Yeah.
the edition changed, not because Vigilus was taken away in the case of GSC.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got no help, like minimal help at best, on 2 separate chapter approved.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not going to cut it.
Yeah, well, I think just the way the game changed, like everything worked against Genester Cult. Because like I feel like the smaller board size made Genester Cult less relevant because everyone else got better at getting in combat, and then a shorter game meant a shorter game, only 5 turns instead of 6, meant that reserves is I think less important. Like I don't reserve nearly as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Because I want my stuff on the table scoring points actively. Because if I come in on turn 2 after my opponent has already gotten a 15, and then they set up screens, they get a second 15. I'm like, dang, like my army just came in, my opponent is up 30-5 on primary. So like,
That's not good.
and then Gene Slurple got more expensive, lost Vigilus, and then just I think just the stat check grind of the edition happened.
Yeah, everybody's gotten increases on theirs.
Yeah, where like, yeah, everyone else is like getting like, oh, my Cognis las cannon is D3 plus 3 damage. I'm like, oh, my mining laser is still D6, and also ballistic skill 4, shorter range and less durable. I'm like, oh, but at least I cost more. Yeah, that stuff adds up.
But yeah, the Tau had to play half an edition without fallback and shoot.
As a matter of fact, according to a census of Tau players, they actually didn't play that half of the edition.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, none of them showed up. And you know what? That's not a shade, because I would not have either.
Talk about a book that really relied on fallback and shoot.
Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't have minded if they'd got like a shoot into combat ability instead.
Yeah.
Like just like a battle
Just
suit.
battle suit,
Battle suits
yeah.
like vehicles. They can shoot in, and if it's a heavy weapon, you take -1. You know, there's a lot of mechanics they can play with. There are like rumors that Tower coming like in 2022.
In January was the rumor.
Okay.
With a Dark Strider model.
With the Dark Strider model, interesting.
So.
I wouldn't be mad about that. I really wouldn't.
No, if
Now, once it
if
comes
GSC
out, I will
Tau,
die mad. But
GSC Tau back to back, that's actually would really
it would
help
really help.
some of the struggling armies.
Mhm.
And then hopefully Tyranids. Well, Tyranids is supposed to be in the campaign.
If
book.
Tyranids are getting a campaign book, there's a chance it's good enough that I could wait a little bit. Now, campaign books are very hit or miss, where you either get Cult of Strife or House Raven, right? And these are kind of your choices.
Yeah.
So, we'll see about
The
that.
campaign books have been hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. It's certainly a way to put it. Keep forgetting that Death Guard got a campaign book.
Yeah.
Like, guaranteed, like, Orcs are going to get some campaign books in Warzone Octarius, and it's either going to be your Truck Boys gain OBSEC, or your Rocket Truck Squig Buggies become Ballistic Skill 2.
Yeah.
These are your choices. Like, well, what's it going to be?
We got a $10 super chat from Mr. Matt. Oh, thank you so much, Matt. Hey guys, hope you had a good weekend. I saw Thunderfire Cannon in a game on Sunday, and the Tremor Shell strat still seems really solid. Is there a reason you never see them in most lists?
I feel like it's just the points per damage kind of thing. Because a Thunderfire Cannon... Tremor Shells is an amazing strat. It just feels a little bit expensive. And then, I don't think Tremor Shells works that well against MSU armies. And it doesn't work that well against armies that are in transports. So because Dark Elder exists... Or that fly. So, like, if you look at, some of the current armies where that'd be really useful, Tremor Shells would actually be really good into a Sakaran heavy AdMech. But they have... not for the Rustalkers.
Rustalkers ignore it. So.
Right, Rustalkers ignore it. And then also, of course, they have a lot of units, so pinning one doesn't help as much.
Exactly.
Death Guard ignore it. Drukhari that are into transport won't be shot by it, so they effectively ignore it. Space Marines, Vanguard Veterans ignore it, and that's usually the unit you would want to slow down. So I feel like there are just too many situations where it's not actually going to come up, unfortunately. Even though when it does, it's really good. Like, yeah, if I knew I was going into Custodies Dreadnoughts, I would love having some Tremor Shells in my pocket. I really would. But I think it's just a little too situational right now for me to spend the large amount of points it costs you, because it specifically is not good at dealing damage.
Yeah.
It's strength 4 AP dash.
Like, imagine if we lived in the GSC Tyranid meta with lots of Kraken Stealers. Like,
yeah, that was great. I hated Thunderfire Cannons.
Go ahead and throw Thunderfire in there. Yeah, it's a lot of points, but gosh darn it, can it just win you those type of meta games? But for those type of armies really aren't in the meta right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to justify. Because what is it? How many points?
I want to say it's 125, 130, and it went to strength 4 AP dash.
Even more than, like, you just pay a little bit more and you're looking at a Contemptor.
Yeah, that's
which
a
is good
very
in most
real thing,
matchups.
which does not have damage, but it does kill. And that is different. It's really just about being useful in the matchups where the stratagem doesn't matter. It's the same reason I don't take a Whirlwind. The stratagem is worth it. It's just that in, half of my, or honestly more, in more than half my games where I never use that stratagem and I just paid 125 points for a Whirlwind, I'm not really in the mood for that.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points to not use.
Funnily enough, they started pricing indirect fire quite correctly, and then they forgot about that in orcs.
Yes, they
They're
started.
Like, AP3 indirect, that's 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap.
Yeah,
Real cheap.
Cheap.
Easy ways to get plus to hit too.
Yeah, why would that cost less than a Thunderfire cannon? Like, I just cannot look at that
No, it's absurd.
and figure out how this happened. All right.
Like, just simply understanding the context of the game that you've so far released would make
That's way
that
too
more
much.
points.
Way too much.
What?
Yeah, clown mode. We did see that. So congratulations to Ben Sherwin. He definitely did a good job there. He had some really good scores as well. There were some orc players that also did well.
Yeah, it was orcs and Grey Knights that were.
Really dominant. Yeah, Grey Knights. I don't know what terrain Iron Hill was using this year, but Grey Knights pulled off a 71% win rate at that event. So yes, Ben Sherwin did great, but he was obviously not the only Grey Knight player who was taking names over there.
A lot of people brought Grey Knights to that event.
Mm-hmm. I think there were like 11 Grey Knight players at it, and it was right around 100 something person event.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it quite got 110, but it's 100 something.
But I am glad to see the Grey Knights doing well.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Yeah, well, you know what? I still remember 5th edition. I was there.
You were there?
I was there. The first GT I went to, my first loss at a GT ever was to some Grey Knights.
What were you playing Tyranids?
Yeah, playing Tyranids. Yeah, they had force weapons and psychotrope grenades and rad grenades. So all of a sudden, I used Shadows in the Warp to deny his force weapons, and then he made a Trigon Toughness 3, and he killed it with instant death. And I was like, oh yeah, that'll do it. It's like, oh, okay. Rad grenades. So you could like stack rad grenades and something. There was some silliness afoot.
How do you deal with player plays terrain rules where one player is actively trying to make the board planet bowling ball and placing all the terrain on the edges of the board? Well, how it works for more recent events, so I think Adepticon used to have a format like that where you can just put it anywhere. For Frontlines player plays terrain, you have to put it in your own half of the board.
Yeah, I think Frontlines is really the right way to do it.
Yeah. Maybe it was also Renegade, where the Renegade Open, where you could just place the terrain wherever. So somebody would start by putting like a forest or something flat in the middle of the table. So, all right, nothing big in the middle. And then they would start putting any ruins on one. Their opponent would put a ruin on one side. They'd put a ruin on that same side and just stack all the line of sight blocking over there. So it creates really silly games.
Not a huge fan of that.
Yeah. Luckily, like I said, Frontline does not.
Yeah, I think Frontline's format actually was quite innovative. I don't know if they came up with that themselves. I've never seen it used before their events, so I'm assuming that Frontline came up with that one. But I'm a huge fan having played it.
It's cool guaranteeing the board state that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Cerberus Raiders have so many parts.
Cerberus Raiders. They really do. Talk about a complicated model line. Gene Circle and Mad Mech are both very, very complicated models.
Yeah.
Or complex, I think would be the better word. It's fun to paint, but not fun to speed paint, I should say.
Yeah.
Here I am, wondering why I chose the halved color scheme as I paint the halves of my helmets.
You are a glutton for punishment.
That's true. Well, when I did it, it was because I was painting a 2,000 point Space Marine army to ride the bandwagon for a month or two before I went back to Gene Circle as soon as Tyranids got nerfed, as soon as Space Marines got nerfed. And now, here we are.
John's still on the bandwagon.
Still on the bandwagon.
It's been
It's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for Gene Circle to get better.
It's been 99 years.
Yeah, I am trapped in this hellish cycle of just painting more Space Marines. But like, it'd be inefficient to paint a new Space Marine chapter because I have so many Space Marines painted. There definitely was.
That's how they
point.
get you.
That's how they get you.
Yes.
There was definitely a point where I should have stopped, stripped like the one list that I had. It was like, honestly, at this point, I'm not even using any of the same models.
No, it's entirely new stuff.
It's entirely new stuff at this point. Like, I could have changed this.
Those chaplain dreads are never coming back.
This chaplain dreads are never coming back. They're really not. But I just kept playing Space Marines.
What base size do company veterans or the champion go on?
32 mils for everything from that box set. Yep.
Is there anything Marine that's not on 32s? Like as the small
I mean, technically,
servitors are not. Obviously.
servitors are on 25s. Technically, a lot of characters are on 25s right now. However, I think every single person has collectively agreed to not do that.
Because it's gonna happen eventually.
Like it's so stupid to have like Dante on a 25mm slot base, like next to your 40mm Primaris Lieutenant. It's like, okay, like who's actually in charge here? Like, you telling me you're letting this guy boss around? Like, get out of here.
Azrael.
Yeah, Azrael on a 25mm base. You know, literally the size of Mephiston's right shoulder pad.
Yeah, it's
like I don't like, get out of here. This guy's going on a 32, like a minimum of 32.
I know a Tau player that owns 2 Taunars. Oh,
Madman.
wow. Well, when they were 850 points, you could actually fit 2 in a list.
Whew. That would have been one way to give Nick a nightmare.
Oh, man. No drones. I just gotta pass my saves.
Or just kill him first. Simple as that.
Just
I mean, Azerman would never have made it out of there.
table the man. 1 Taunar was enough for Azerman. He was...
Absolutely.
We're never gonna see him again.
Maybe like whenever Craft World gets a new codex. It's like it'll happen.
I'll bust out the Taunar again. I don't care that it sucks.
Just for Azerman.
Just for Azerman.
The second Nick brings Azerman back, the Taunar starts looming over like, your time is now, old man.
He's better in combat than he was then.
Oh, fantastic. What? How did he get better in combat?
He got... he's not damage 1 anymore.
Even better. What is he now?
Damage 2.
Okay, well that is twice as good, yeah.
Crushing feat.
Is he strength 8?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure you don't get ramshackled.
I hope Azerman doesn't get ramshackled, please.
Only against strength 7 and less.
I mean, that was a good qualifier on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just they undercosted everything, like, heinously.
Mm-hmm. Look, we just have to start bringing out the Eradicators with the heavy melter rifles again. Because you know what? I want to do that. Not even going to lie to you. Can you imagine the look on an Orc player's face where I'm like, yeah, I'm just Raven Guard Scout deploying my heavy melter rifle, like, Eradicators. Yeah, this is a full brick, man. Like, click, click, boom, this is happening.
Grab the melter rifles. No. The heavy melter,
Melter rifles. I mean, that thing's D6 plus 4 damage.
Yes, I think it's enough.
Yeah, like that's enough. I mean, am I brave enough to run them as Imperial Fists for the +1 damage in Dev Doctrine? No, I'm not, because AP 5 does not require ignore cover. But come on.
AP 5, baby.
AP.
It's when you know you're doing the damage.
It's like these Sanguinary Guard are going down. Oh, there's nothing like it. Getting like those AP4 grav cannons around the back to shoot at the Sanguinary Guard. I'm like, so I notice you're not in cover. Let's chat about this, shall we?
The Auspicator said, it's time to light you up. $5 super chat from Mr. Clown Mode. Thank you so much, Clown Mode. How would your sister's list do into 5 Dread Knight, a Grey Knight list? How would you try and deal with that kind of threat?
I personally think I can handle that. I think it's just a matter of, as always, board control and removing threats one at a time. Even though Grey Knights have some annoying mortal wound denying capabilities, I think the ability to shut down their psychic phases and kind of engage in a standout, because both armies can score pretty good secondaries with passive gameplay. And I think that I have better just ability to get my guns and my damage dealings in the right place. And as soon as we start trading, I'm a little cheaper. And I also have really good characters for dealing with those problems. So I think it's a very manageable match for the Sisters of Battles, but it's certainly not an auto win either. Yeah, we'll see. Luck, I did actually end up changing my Sisters list by the smallest margin possible, just so that I can ignore Psychic Powers with Eleni. And Just in case.
Pretty good.
That feels more important than the +1 invuln into Grey Knights. Just because, we're seeing Grey Knights and Thousand Suns pop up. I thought that ignoring an invulnerable, ignoring psychic powers, period, would be very valuable on something like Celestine, who's in front of the army. Just tell them that they don't get to smite. How do you guys feel Grey Knights play into Buggy Orcs? I feel like it's a playable game for both sides. I would actually guess that it favors Grey Knights a little bit, but it really helps if you have enough terrain to hide from the rocket buggies.
Yeah. Because
you don't want to get your Dread Knight shot by rocket buggies turn 1.
Dense cover is also huge.
Dense cover is huge.
Any sort of dense cover on the board. I would favor the Grey Knights. But the buggies are pretty inconsistent killing Dread Knights.
Exactly, because they win on 5s.
Yeah.
Jake, so to answer your question there, the other logo is the logo for the Art of War War Room. So if you see something on the schedule that isn't on YouTube, that's all on our website, theartofwar40k.com. We have a ton of content here. It's all very competitive minded. We're some of the best players in the game, trying to teach people, how to both enjoy the hobby and self improve. Anything that has the YouTube logo, you can absolutely just find on this channel. The other stuff though, check out our website, theartofwar40k.com.
Yeah. If you want a teaser for some of the Worm content without jumping fully in, you could become a YouTube member, and once a week we upload a kind of either a clinic, a strategy session, sometimes on a Monday, sometimes even a coaching match, just to give you a sample of the different content we have in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a ton of videos up on our channel, so feel free to check out any and all of those. Alright, you can do a second base coat of white. Do you have any, is there another army painter white somewhere? This white is just not feeling good.
I thought Nick got like a whole set. Is it over there?
Let me go take a look. This white is just coming out a little chalky.
Is that the GW white?
No, it's army painter, but... Oh, here's a bag of paint.
Is the white in there?
I see some white.
Yeah, I figured. Because he had gotten a new set a little while ago.
Aha, matte white. Thank you, Matt. Is it Nurgle matte white?
Nurgle matte white.
Nurgle matte white.
Yeah, Nurgle matte green needs to be.
Nurgle matte green. I could 100% get behind some Nurgle matte green.
As Blood Angels, what's the best way to approach a heavy Sicaran cohort matchup? Jack Harpster did not have an answer to that.
Oh,
and
why you gotta be so
man.
mean? Richard, come on, you can destructive here.
No holds
barred, huh?
Mm-hmm. So, it is tough because the AdMech player is going to just have more tools than you. You just have to accept that. So
it means you can't trade 1-to-1.
Yes, you cannot trade 1-to-1 because they are going to trade up every single time, and you're going to run out of resources. The best way would be to... A lot of people are running Mars, so the best way to do that, since they don't have the solar flare to teleport, is try and get a multi-trap off. And when you go into combat, you have to do it such that the first unit that goes in is going to sacrifice its lives so that the other units behind don't get hit. So if you create a double wrap situation, they can't get out of it very easily. They have to go into combat, and then you're set up such that that first unit that went in and uses pylons and consolidates created a nice like U-shape or blocking position so that everything else behind survives the turn, gets to interact the next turn. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Move blocking is very important.
You have to trade something, do damage with it, and move block the rest of your army so they could hit the following turn. And that's pretty darn hard to do, but it is possible.
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
So the answer is you outplay them. That is the actual answer.
Well, you can always get reps. That can certainly help you.
Yep. Definitely get reps. And you have to look for opportunities where your opponent has mispositioned their army that you can take advantage of. And sometimes it's actually just playing the waiting game because AdMech don't have very good indirect fire anymore. So you can just wait it out. Oops, they got a little sloppy in their movement phase this turn. This is Blood Angels in.
Remember that time when we found out that the Scorpius was going from strength 6 to strength 5 and AdMech players thought the army was getting worse?
Well, the Scorpius was getting worse. And
that is true. The Scorpius did get worse. But you remember when like they thought like our AdMech was going to be bad because like we lost that? It's like, oh.
I mean, it was the key foundation of 8th edition into early 9th AdMech.
It definitely was, but boy, did it turn out to be okay.
When all you know is like your good power unit is getting crippled, you're like, oh god.
I mean, but I think that's happened to a lot of units.
Yeah, it certainly has. I think just each community is experiencing it, as they
One
go.
at a time, yeah.
Yeah, like if Tyranids lose their key power unit, not that sad, honestly.
I mean, Hive Guard or the Swarm Lord would be it, honestly. So
Yeah.
if they come up with rumors that the Swarm Lord is losing his double move, I will be very sad. But if they tell me then that the Swarm Lord actually has a close combat stat, then I'll be very happy.
Yeah, if he doesn't just instantly die to crisis suits in combat,
Hey. It wasn't my Swarm Lord.
it would have been your swarm.
It would not have been.
You're more than welcome to send him in anytime.
You know what? Let's do it. Tyranids versus Tau. I'll play that.
We did do it.
Yep, we did. What about it?
Remors are pretty good, turns out.
Whatever.
You ready for the full 9, John?
Doesn't matter to me.
The 9. I love the Remora drone. What a fun unit that is.
Should have taken 9 days CO, honestly.
I should have. But I was worried about the Dread matchups where they don't help as much, but they could have just move blocked.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did I roll a lot of 6s against AP4 weapons.
It's nothing quite
Sorry,
like it.
sorry, Sean.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry. That was a lot. When you have to keep putting all that precious firepower into a single Remora, it does end up feeling really
Those
bad.
things just live, man.
just
Remoras just live.
They live, and then they end up killing your while we stand in combat turn 5.
It's not that happened once. It's just that it happened
Twice.
twice. It's like, how did this
I killed a
happen?
Shadow Seer in combat, and then this is, to be clear, this is 2 attacks hitting on 5s, and
Their weapons go 5?
yeah, their weapons go 5.
Heck yeah, good for them.
They could have been 4 if I had the commander with the drone controller.
Almost
But
there.
don't have that. And then I was hitting on 6s against the last remaining bike, Reaver Jet bike. And I got 1 hit, 1 wound. Nick failed to save, no CP to reroll. Gone.
Gone.
So, both times the Tau have went against the Eldari and not
The
lost.
Remoras in combat.
That's how you do it. That's why you keep them alive. Charge them in at the end. No more need for airborne. So good. But that's why I wanted to run that Cold Star Commander with the drone controller and just fly up with them. They're all hitting. They all get the +1 to hit in shooting and in combat.
Mhm.
Now we're talking. It's a shame you can't give them ATS, because then they'd be AP1 in combat.
Is that really necessary? I mean, you're already
Would-
killing Shadow Seers
It
and
would be.
jet bikes out here.
How's it going, Lyle? Hope you're doing well.
What's up, Lyle?
As a melee orc player, very worried about the freebooted DACA orc list. Have you faced one before? Any tips?
We've put it on in practice. We haven't done an orc mirror match, but I do have to imagine that if one side had flyers and the other one didn't, that would probably be the side that won.
Yeah.
I would
Flyers are brutal with the amount of shots that they put out.
Yeah.
And
They're very good into other orcs, I think. Just because they're already like a Daka Jet is strength 6 AP 2, but it's only damage 1. But against Ramshackle, you hit on 4s, wound on 4s, and it's just like, all right, well, AP 2, damage 1. Like I don't care about Ramshackle. Just take a bucket load of saves.
Yeah, this orc book does skew extremely well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If
Like
you're
I think a
listed-
Daka Jet will probably average a dead buggy every time it shoots.
Quite possible.
Hit on 4s, wound on 4s. If you've got the freebooter buffs up,
Yeah.
I could do it right there. It's a dangerous business.
Man, freebooters.
Freebooters, what an army, right?
No flash gets to be seen. They're supposed
No.
to be there.
You would really think so, honestly, but no.
No, just a bunch of squid buggies.
Hate to see it.
Is Nick on the Grey Knight bandwagon now after getting a whipping? He's gonna try.
Exactly what happened.
Nemesis or Nick
That's
is-
exactly what happened. Don't even lie to them.
Nemesis or Nick is gone,
No, so Nick is gone.
replaced
100%.
by brother Captain Nick.
I still like the Grey Knicks. Sounds like a sports team, the New York Knicks.
In the doldrums for
The New Jersey Knicks. Somehow even worse than the New York Knicks. Trust the corner. You don't trust the process. You trust the corner.
Trust the corner.
Trust the
The
corner.
corner gets it done.
We should get a basketball jersey for April Fool's Day, the New Jersey Knicks.
Honestly, what we need to do, John, is go back to some of those old games and just clip Nick and his voice recordings, because every moment, there's some precious moments on stream where he realizes he's been in the corner for too long. Remember that Imperial Fist game against the Space Wolves?
Oh yeah.
He has his whole army alive, but it just hasn't been doing anything on the mission.
Yep.
Just that like turn 3 when you realize I'm not going to be able to score enough points in this game.
Yep. It's like, that's funny. The primary is 30-0, but Mark's out of models. So on the next 2 turns, if I... Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
2
no.
turns.
2 turns?
Oh, God. Those are great moments.
It's alright. Attack bike hype. I don't...
I haven't diced
Has
Nick
Nick
hard.
won a game with attack bikes?
I mean, I can't remember the last time he won with Space Marines.
I don't
I
know.
just beat him with Necrons, with his Space Wolves.
Yeah. It's tough crowd, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, well, he played the attack bikes the last time was into
He played into
is
your
into
Knights.
Mark's World
He
Eaters.
played into your Knights.
Yeah, you played Space Wolves into my Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's true. You did do that. That was a classic right there. That was an instant classic.
I love how when Siegs and John get these questions, most of their answers boil down to hope your opponent's bad and lets you do something powerful they could avoid. Well, I mean, you're talking about one of the most powerful archetypes in the game versus Blood Angels, which are a mono-dimensional army. There's only so many ways you can actually win that matchup if they're good. Like, if his opponent is bad, which, if they're just running a go-board and they're having fun and good time and haven't maxed its efficiency, yeah, Blood Angels can absolutely win that. But if it's like the supremely well-oiled machine that my Metallica list is, it's just not going to happen.
Definitely shouldn't happen.
Cerberus Raiders just win you that matchup because there's nothing Blood Angels are doing about it.
Yep.
They have to slowly kill them, and I'm putting ignore AP 1 and 2 and +1 saving throw on them, and just sending one out a turn using the strat to come back. And yeah, Blood Angels hate that. They are not a fan.
Do. I mean, no one really likes that.
John likes it.
John does not.
John
like
loves
it. John
it.
doesn't like it. It's all right. I am going to bring Gene's Circle purely to Vect that.
Yeah,
Like,
you are.
No. No. You stay.
You stay.
You
John's
stay
gonna
here.
bring 18 Hive Guard and the Vect.
Absolutely. I'm gonna turn 1.
Come on, bring it to New Orleans.
I'm gonna turn
It's a
1.
great
I'm
list.
gonna shoot 18 Cerberus Raiders to death and charge a Gene's Throw unit into the last one. And Seeger's gonna be like, I gotta spend the 2 CP. And I'm like, I gotta spend the 3 CP. Boom, a 6. You spend the 2 CP anyway. Death.
John actually rolls the 1. It's like, this game is over. Why?
1 unit of Cerberus Raiders proceeds to kill my whole army.
Well, I mean, they would advance and charge across the board and hit those Hive Guard in combat.
I would smite them. I would get a lot of super smites. I don't know how else to do that. Don't know what else to do there. Super smites, baby.
Be free, Hive Guard, please.
We're banking on it.
Let's see. Ever run into a list at a tournament that was so heavily skewed against what you were playing that you basically auto-lost at the start, or does that stuff like that not exist with the list that you built?
That theoretically exists, but in practice, it never actually happens. It's happened to me, like, on occasion, but, like, it's been a while. I think the worst time it ever happened to me was, I went second against Triple Shadow Sword when I was playing, a Guard Custody soup list, and unfortunately, this was at an RTT, so it had to be the perfect storm of this happened, and also the terrain we were playing on was from an aquarium store. So there was only palm fronds.
I remember that. This is at in the Tampa store, right?
Yeah, it was that table.
Critical Hit.
No, it was Armada. Critical Hit actually had ruins.
Armada.
Yeah, Armada did
You're
not.
right.
Yeah, I went second. He had 3 Shadow Swords. I had 3 Tank Commanders and a bunch of Custodies. And this is 8th edition, where if you didn't have a mechanic to put something in reserves, you didn't just spend CP to do it, right? You were just on the table.
Oh, boy.
So I lost 3 Tank Commanders turn 1, and then I lost a bunch of Custodies turn 1. And then I ran at him, and then I lost a bunch of Custodies turn 2, and that was the game. Like, my entire game plan was like, if my captain rolls 18 damage on his 5 attacks after making only all of his 3-up endbolts, I have a chance here. That didn't happen. I did end up getting 1 captain to comp with the Shadow Sword. It did not degrade it, and which is fine. It shouldn't degrade it, but it is just kind of like things that I needed to happen.
How many captains does it take to kill a Necron Warrior?
1 Necron Warrior? Only 1.
Only
How
one.
many turns? Talk about embarrassing. Right there.
It's like, you are the might of the Imperium here, sir, but this is Xenos tech. This is
Filthy Xenos tech. You give Seeker a 5-up interval, and you know what you're getting. Like,
5-up invuln followed by 5-up comeback. Like,
yeah, wow.
You can't give me the 5s.
Can't give Seeker the 5s. You know what happens.
Having a power go off on a 2-up Catan power, that's not automatic, but The 5-ups? Oh my god.
Yeah, I was there. I was there the day Richard slew the Emperor.
Good times. But yeah, I think for the Talus that I ran in 8th edition, Guard was actually a tough matchup because it just had obscene amount of guns and people were running like double, triple Whirlwind. Not Whirlwind, Wyvern.
Oh, Wyverns picked up drones, baby.
And they put so many saves because of the reroll wounds onto the drones that it actually gets very annoying. So they can get rid of the drones pretty quickly in those first couple turns, and then you're left with Commanders and Riptides. And boy, do you need to start getting into combat real quick at that point. So I'd actually played several close games against Guard players, like with Riptides in combat and trapping tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I ran out of everything else.
I genuinely...
It wasn't a hard counter, but it was just a difficult matchup.
Yeah. I still genuinely want to try to make Guard work. It's just, it feels like I have to play a flawless game into so many different combat armies right now.
Yeah.
Where, like, I have to be perfect.
Yeah.
And, like, not even... And perfect still might not be enough. If literally one witch makes it in the wrong spot, it's over.
God.
I'm like, ugh. Just like that, huh?
Yeah, the introduction of the no fallback stuff was really tough for Guard and Tau.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Guard do not have close combat units.
Yeah.
Period. Like that. Full stop.
Tau have more close combat than Guard.
Which is insane.
Hilariously.
It's accurate, though. It's 100% true. Yeah, I think I would just have to like load up on like an Astropath, 2 primary Psychers, and a double Smite Inquisitor, and just be like da 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 da. Just like
let's go.
It's like stay back,
Eisenhorn, get in there with Barbarisator.
Yeah, honestly, I would actually take. I think I would do Codias.
You could bring the Demon Host too.
I don't want that.
It has a bunch of attacks.
Yeah, but Codias actually buffs Guard.
But it's Demon Host.
It's that I do not consort with demons. Look, I like to bring one elf in my sister's list that I can kill an elf every game. I don't trust demons though. We're not like that.
Let's see. What is your opinion on lists with Craftworld Artillery Detachment, Dark Reapers, Night Spinner, support weapon platforms? What other detachments would you bring with it? The most common we've seen is Drukhari plus that, so that the Drukhari is just counter assault midfield control, and then the shooting is just supposed to delete your opponent's army. Or you've seen Harlequins try and do the same thing. Harlequins plus Eldar.
Faster, but a little more fragile, basically.
Yep.
Or a little more expensive, I should
A
say.
little more expensive, but they have more tricks on just messing with your opponent. And then Pure Craft Worlds is very rare. So you're seeing it usually allied with a different Eldari faction.
Yeah.
And that's just to bring guns to factions that want to mostly trade on primary and play close combat. So if you want to bring a bunch of shooting to a melee army, Craft Worlds for Eldari has been the option that people have gone for.
Yeah.
This is mostly post Liquefier Rex getting nerfed. Before that, you're not really running this.
Most people were just taking the Rex.
Yes. But that opened up a space where this allied detachment is actually quite useful. Not necessary, though. You can just win with Drukhari.
Yeah, but it's still quite powerful.
It offers you different tools into certain matchups, like having a bunch of blast, ignore line of sight weapons, good into AdMech meta that's spamming Skitarii units. So it's kind of shifted based on it. Now, if you're playing into a meta that's heavy on Marines, especially like Dread Knight
buggies
or Orc Buggies, that indirect is going to do absolutely nothing, and you just spend a lot of points on putting yourself down in a matchup. So it's not very common that you actually see this. It's like maybe every event has like 1 or 2 lists that are similar.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't think it's an auto take for Eldari.
Certainly not. What armies do you guys think are the most fun to play competitively? A mix of strength and enjoyment. Right now, I actually really enjoy playing Sisters. Right now, I love my Sisters army. I think they're a combination of extremely fun, strong, and competitive without feeling broken. Like I don't think people playing against Sisters are just like, man, there's just nothing I could have done. Like you were just.
I think the bodyguard rule is the only thing.
Bodyguard rule is being non-interactive is unfortunate. I'll freely admit that, but I think that's just necessary to exist with some of the stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah, I would rather just tone down that stuff and then tone down bodyguard.
Yeah, if it gets hit at the same time, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Or honestly, if they change it so that every model in the unit has to be within 3 inches, I think that would actually be perfectly reasonable. Because it's not broken in any other army.
I don't feel like Vol should be getting bodyguarded. She's a giant battle.
Guilliman gets bodyguarded.
Yeah, I don't think he should be.
Talon Masters, Demon Princes.
There's a lot of I think they went too flexible on that. I think that where Thousand Suns land, that's actually pretty. There's play and counterplay to it.
Well, I mean, they can bodyguard a Demon Prince of Thousand Suns.
But they have to spend resources to do it. It's not just auto for the whole game.
That's fair.
I think if you want to go with the strong version, I think actually Thousand Suns is the nice in between.
So maybe it's a 1 command point stratagem for the keyword bodyguard units.
Yeah, and then you pick
and
one
then
character.
Yeah, and actually, that's actually true. If bodyguard with a pick 1.
Yeah.
That I think I would be better about.
Yeah, if they keep it as powerful as it is, I think having that restriction would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, because then you don't have like multiple characters sticking out all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, I think, like I said, I don't think sisters are oppressive. I just said that is the one thing that could be oppressive, especially against some of the armies that don't have, like, what is guard doing against that?
Shooting manticores as Agrisons?
And hoping that,
I guess?
hoping that they get ignore cover and in the future supplement. Like,
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, talk about an army that needs ignore cover.
Exactly. But, like, bodyguard just is so powerful against an army like guard.
Yeah,
Where they don't have fast
very
counter assault. So
true enough.
yeah, I'm pushing for the guard.
I would love to see some love for guard.
Um,
Give me a Death Corps of Krieg supplement. Thank God they announced that they're going to be selling those models separately soon.
I don't know what happened before 8th edition, but 8th and 9th edition Nemesis Nick may be the most failed commander of all dynasties. He's a heck of a commander.
Well, he was.
He makes the rest of us look amazing, so I appreciate that. My Necron play looks spectacular.
Ouch.
Even though I'm not
So hard.
well
Poor,
practiced.
poor Nick is like driving around town, like tuning into the hangout. And
yeah, he is.
And Richard's just dragging him. Like, oh, poor Nick.
It's not Nick, it's Nemesis Nick.
Nemesis Nick.
Nemesis
that's
Nick
true.
is a different beast.
He's a different monster.
He is yet is he the
His
only
cranials.
consistent person to not win a game on the channel?
I mean,
Somebody who's played the army multiple times, at least 3 times, and not won.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the only. I think Nemesis.
I don't think I've struck out on a faction.
Yeah.
Like that. Although, no, I beat what did I beat with Gene Storkle?
Nick's guard.
I beat.
You beat Nick's guard with GSC.
Yeah,
That happened.
that's true. that happened. Yeah.
I don't know if you beat anybody else. Did you play with GSC one other time?
I've several. I took 2 of Mark's armies out.
Okay.
He
Definitely took the Craftworld Elder out. I
the
watched that
Craftworld
game.
out, yeah.
That was a disaster.
Yeah.
That was brutal. It's like, oh, GSC are actually still hard hitting. You can't mess
You
around.
can't forget that part. Yeah.
This Patriarch is soloing Wraithseers out here.
As he should. Oh, it's the mental onslaught.
Yeah. Watch Jack vs. Richard at the Orlando Open to see what happens when Great Blood Angel players play against Great Admech players. Yeah. It really hurt that he had to go first, too. Because I just had bottom of the turn, and that was just... He had to try and do something. Mm-hmm. But that was tough.
It's a hard life.
It was also not the easy... He would have rather played me in the final on Sweep and Clear. That's a better mission for Blood Angels.
What mission was that one?
The one that we played before was... We had played...
Was it Vital?
No, Vital was when I played Will.
Yeah, Vital was... That's right. Vital was like round 5.
It was...
Was it Priority Target?
No.
I
We didn't play Priority Target.
Oh, that's right. What was it? I guess it was a Hammer and Anvil one?
Yeah, I think it was Hammer and Anvil.
Was it Battle Lines?
No,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't Battle Lines.
Yeah, because Battle Lines was round 6. I don't remember what round 7 was.
Because we played Sweep and Clear.
Yeah, I was there.
Well,
I was there, Richard.
John was there.
As a passenger to my own car wreck.
Are Drukhari still OP?
They're still really strong.
I still think
they did not. So what's funny is like the last 2 or 3 weekends both had multiple Drukhari GT wins, and then this past weekend did not have any, but they posted the highest win rate of the last weekend. So Drukhari are certainly still a force to be reckoned with, just consistently across the board in all formats they do well. There's plenty of them at coming into the London GT. We'll certainly see some strong showings there. Hard to tell exactly though. How how much of a nerf they need, but I think the consensus is that they do need to be addressed.
I think they are the strongest. Just anybody can pick them up and do reasonably well with them faction in the game. And when you get to the point of the top tables, every single list at the top tables is going to be anti-Drukhari because you have to beat Drukhari to get there. You have to assume that, and so they're going to have all those extra tech pieces to try and beat Drukhari.
I don't think Drukhari have the highest ceiling in the game, but I do think they have the highest floor.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I guess is, the argument between AdMech and Sisters. AdMech and Drukhari. I think that AdMech have a higher ceiling than Drukhari.
I agree with that. I just think their floor is actually higher.
Oh, yeah.
Drukhari, not the flyer list, but like the Metallica list, absolutely.
Yeah, Drukhari have the highest floor in the game.
Richard can still roll 5-ups all day with 1d6, but when he needs to roll it, do it with 2d6 on Grey Knight Ritual.
That's how you get it.
My Psychics phase has been really inconsistent, but the last game it helped that I just shot Nick off the board and it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's actually how you do it.
That's how you need to do it. Just bring so many guns that even if you fail all your psychic powers, it doesn't matter. What armies do you guys think are the most fun to play competitively? A mix of strength and enjoyment.
I'm Sisters is my vote.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I love AdMech. I think the book is excellent. You can play so many different styles in it, and pretty much there's just starting with the traits, there's 4 or 5 of them that are all very good that you could build around and fit to your play style. So I think AdMech has a lot of diversity if you want to actually look at it. If you want to play Mars Planes, sure, go ahead and do that. But there's actually a lot more to the book than that. Like the Metallica veteran cohort is a ton of fun to play. It has just so many tools and lots of tricks.
Yeah.
How do you two feel about Harlequins these days? Seems like Skyweavers are on the decline. They need an update badly.
I think so, yeah.
Their stat lines just don't compare to what has come out. We already saw that when the Marine book came out. When the 9th edition Marine book came out, Harlequins were doing very well up to that point. Mm-hmm. Marines came out, it's really hard to beat Marines with Harlequins, and Marines are everywhere. And then there's been books better than Marines.
There are, yeah.
So that has just really hurt Harlequins a lot.
I think Harlequins can still compete on top tables, it's just getting there.
The other thing is Drukhari came out, and they're in Haldari faction that does Harlequin things, similar things, but does it a lot cheaper and better.
Yep.
In many cases.
Cheaper, hits harder, is comparable speed.
So they kind of took the Harlequin the mantle and were just like, we do it better, so come on over and join the dark side of the Eldari.
Oh, the dark side.
The dark side of the Eldari.
It's tempting to join the dark side, but you have to reel yourself back in. Get away from the dark Eldar.
Guards should have ignore cover army-wide. They heard the definition of blow stuff up in buildings.
No. Guards should not have ignore cover. It's if a guardsman unit shoots 10 las guns at an enemy unit, the second guard unit ignores cover.
Hey,
you got marker lights.
Marker lights,
yeah.
Guard las guns marker lights.
No, that's honestly, if I were to be the one writing a guard codex, which I'm very definitely not, I would love to have just generic stacking buffs like that, where the first time you shoot a guard unit at something, you shoot. The second unit gets +1 reroll 1s to hit. The third gets ignored cover. The fourth gets reroll 1s to wound. And it becomes when something is just getting shot over and over and over by, and maybe you have different ones where in order to give the buff to a vehicle has to shoot.
Yeah. And
then in order to give the buff to infantry has to shoot. So the first infantry, I think the first infantry that shoots, was just las guns. The second one, las guns are AP 1. The third one, the las guns ignore cover. The fourth one, the las guns are strength 4.
You should call it Kill Them Dead.
Just Kill Them Dead? Yeah, I don't care what they call it. Just there's plenty of names there, but I would love it if because the tricky thing is you want 100 guardsmen to be scary to be shot by, but you don't want 10 guardsmen to be scary to be shot by. Yeah. And now they made AdMech had the same problem, and their solution to it was make Skitarii obscenely broken. But you don't want one guardsman squad to end the world, because that's not what guardsmen do.
No.
So I think you need to make it stacking buffs.
That's what Skitarii do. It's in the machine code.
Mm-hmm.
Just watched the video with Marshall Peterson. Do you think a Lichguard heavy army can still compete with Drukhari and AdMech? He has been doing well with it. Lichguard are solid. They're overcosted for sure, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. They need to go down 2 points a model. But with all the buffs that you can put on them, you probably run the Technomancer in that case.
Yeah.
Try and bring deck.
Oh, hey, if anyone wants to see Marshall's list on stream, I think now's a good time to point out that every month we do the top 2 donors pick a subscriber match for the next month. Yep. So if you're one of the top 2 donators of just donate some money.
Super chats.
Super chats. That was the word I was failing on.
Yeah.
Just top 2 every month. I get to choose a matchup. So we've gotten, sometimes you get requests like, could you play this specific list? Or sometimes it's something funny like, Nick on guard into me on Gene Store call. But sometimes it's like, hey, we want to see you guys take someone else's competitive list and put a spin on it.
Yep.
So we can do any of that.
I'm happy to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like my double.
Are you willing to take on Nick Space Wolves one last time?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
I do love my double Catan list, though.
Heck yeah.
I wouldn't. Nick is great. I would pay Nick to teach me about 40k. I would not pay Nemesis or Nick to teach me anything.
Nemesis or Nick's cranial circuits have decayed through the eons. Don't know how else to put that one.
How do you beat Double D McCarran with Sisters?
I think it's quite doable. The D McCarran's not that efficient into Sisters. Really, I think that you kind of have to just make it through and accept that you're going to get hit for a turn, and the next turn you need to connect through. I've played against single D McCarran with Sisters. Because they can't hide, I was able to start getting Melta shots and Vol shots into it pretty quickly and take it down. It did get into combat and killed something first, but it wasn't the end of the world. And I just kind of broke through, honestly, where I just methodically pushed up the center. I took some casualties on the way in, tried to kill what I could, play the mission, and then I just kind of broke through the lines and eventually killed everything besides the Hive Guard. And this Hive Guard did shoot me, and I was never happy about that fact, but the Tyranids just ran out of stuff before I did.
Yeah, Hive Guard is pretty scary.
Hive Guard are definitely scary.
$5 super chat for Mr. Matt. Oh, thank you, Matt. You are a champion. Hey, John, what would you do for the new Scout Sisters? Deploy forward unit like Phobos or something else?
I would love for them to deploy forward like Phobos. I would absolutely love that. Matto, you read in my heart. You know what? That is what I want.
What are they, novitiates?
Novitiates, yeah. And the big thing is I really need them to be a troops choice that costs less than a current Battle Sister squad. That is what I need in my heart of hearts.
How is 11 points for a Battle Sister?
It's 55 points for Battle Sister squad.
So you're thinking
which is a
10
travesty.
points?
10 points infiltrating and then a 4 armor save. And then it looked like they had a lot of different relic weapons that they had the option of buying, which makes no sense to me, by the way.
They're carrying chapter relics.
They're carrying order relics. I'm like, what? Why are the novitiates carrying the order relics?
They must prove their faith, John.
By carrying the relics into battle. I'm like, what is happening here?
There must be a second new squad that they're going to release, which follows the novitiates. So when they die, they pick up all the relics. Pick up all the chapter relics.
So that's going to be the Sister Servitor squad.
Yeah,
like the reliquary servitors. That's like, yep, we follow the initiates around because those girls go through the cannon fodder. I'm like, oh
no. Let's see. With 2 adaptive physiologies, would you go with murderous size on a double Scythe Hive Tyrant? Dermic Symbiosis on Scythe Herodule or Enhanced Resistance on the Hive Guard?
I like Dermic Symbiosis on a Herodule the most. I think getting a Scythe Herodule especially, yeah, getting the 5-up involved, I think it matters a lot. I definitely, if you have any Hive Guard, that is where I start when it comes to assigning my my adaptations. I start by giving them Ignore AP 1 and 2. But the 5-up involved with Dermic Symbiosis on either my Exocrine or a Scythe Herodule is not a bad place to finish. Hey, Dread Knight. Dread Knights. How's the old Dread Knight coming along?
He's coming along. He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
I like it.
What are your personal feelings about Drukhari power level? I mean, do you still have fun playing against them, or you've tired to build every list against them?
It's a chore.
I actually enjoy playing against them because I know it's going to be an actually challenging game just because it's Drukhari and that's how strong they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I like challenging games. But it does suck that it's...
I would rather play against multiple different armies that aren't as challenging instead of just Drukhari being at that level.
Yeah, me too. You guys so kind, love it. Nurgle Matt! We love you. We love you, Nurgle Matt. There's a rumor that Knights are getting a stat boost instead of a crazy rule revamp. The rumor is Titanic goes to T9 and count as 5 OBSEC.
I would love that. Toughness 9 in Knights? Oh,
The Majera doesn't get it. So.
No, the Majera would get it. 100%. FAQ that. Put him in, coach.
That'll be sad.
Yes. No. Give it to me.
He's got to build and paint some more in that.
No, they're all magnetized.
You have a Valiant?
Nope.
That's going to be the good one.
That's what I'm going to get. I'll get a Valiant.
You got a Harpoon, John.
I would love to harpoon something.
John, I mostly meant the guard vehicles should ignore cover. Guard vehicles are the embodiment of overkill in the fluff.
Guard vehicles probably should ignore cover. Or they should be able to easily get it.
Yeah.
Or they should just be AP4. And we'll call that a day.
AP4 indirect. Here we go. New meta.
It's free real estate.
Hopefully, Commissar Yarek's not around when the orcs show up.
Oh, he will be.
He will be. If you had to stick to 3 factions next 5 years, which ones do you choose?
5 years? All right.
Marines for sure.
Space Marines. Tyranids. No, Tyranids are just their called. Honestly, I would do Space Marines and I think Space Marines, Gene Star Cult, and Sisters. 5 years.
That's a long time.
No, you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna be a sellout here. Space Marines, Gene Star Cult, and just Craft World Eldar. Right? Craft World Eldar have been bad for a year. Like, what are the odds that in the next 5 years they're bad again? Literally 0. Like, I've been paying attention for the past, 13 years. This is the worst Craft World Eldar I've ever been. Like, it can't
It's
last.
time for Yunari to come back.
Oh no.
Yunari, it's been too long. I would go with Admech Tau and Marines.
Oh, the Necrons cry. It's alright, Nick can play them.
Who knows when Necrons are going to get anything. Is anyone in the Art of War house picking up Thousand Suns as one of their main armies?
I don't think any of us are. Jack was considering it, and I think we'll be playing them some more in the future.
Nick was also considering it, but did not like the build that he came up with. So hopefully he'll come back and reinvestigate them. But right now, nobody is maining Thousand Suns. But we will still have them on stream. I know
Absolutely, we'll have them on stream. You gotta have them on stream.
we'll just try and get Nick to experiment with some more lists.
Mm-hmm.
But we needed more Scarab Cult Terminators. That was a big thing. So
Yeah. Well, we did get some, though.
we did get some.
Hopefully we can get that action going.
What are my hopes for 9th edition Tau? That it's an army based on mobility and not shooting. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want just an army that shoots. Like the same
Don't
thing with
want a
Admech.
line?
I don't play the army that shoots, the Admech version that shoots the most. I play the one that plays the mission the most and has the most mobility. So
I think that's just the most fun and rewarding.
yeah, I like that a lot. So hopefully Tau goes more that direction. Less about the guns, even if they get updated, and more about actually going all over the board, which Tau is supposed to do with their battle suits and their small engagements all over the place. Happy to see this week we have a Hive Mind clinic. Looking forward to it. Yes, Alex McDougall has been doing extremely well with Force of the Hive Mind.
Yep, he just won a GT, and this is the best way to celebrate.
He just plays Forces.
He is a brave man. I think he's like...
There is no Marine army in the closet waiting.
No, he doesn't. He has a very small Sisters collection, and he has a very small Harlequin collection. But I don't think I've seen him play any of those in a tournament in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's about.
He is loyal. And when you know an army that well, it's always scary.
It is, yeah. He
Even if
was
they're
able to
not-
take down some top-level competitors.
Even if it's not the most powerful right now.
No. Okay, that's why he's one of the Art of War coaches.
That is indeed. Alright. Let me grab those Grey Knights real quick.
Can you grab those granites?
Yeah.
They are right in the station. There's a box next
Okay.
to him. Alright,
honestly,
Richard will be back.
I'll put some more paint on this sword first.
Putting paint on the sword? You gonna paint it before it goes on the base?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a great sword. A Nemesis great sword.
A Nemesis Greatsword.
It is great.
Yeah, we're doing a little pose on one of the Dread Knights where we've got a little demon head that's gonna go on the base, then we're gonna just put the Greatsword kind of sticking in the dirt like it's maybe impaled this poor demon.
It's the Sigil of Exigence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, screw this demon. So we've got beheaded by the Nemesis Greatsword.
I cannot wait for the first time I play demons with Grey Knights. boy, do they have really good rules against demons.
What I actually haven't looked at that part. What do they do?
They lost
demons?
they lost the reroll wounds and Draco's ability and the extra damage on smites against them. Instead, what they got is a tide, which is every unit in your army that's a psyker gets reroll 1 to hit the wounds against demons. So
that's cool.
Captain and Lieutenant, they're nearby. Don't you worry. And then they got a secondary that's just straight up broken against demons because it's in Purge the Enemy, so you can still take all the other good ones.
Yeah, that's useful.
And you get points whether it's, depending on what category of things. But it's like 4, 3, 2, 1 points. But you minimum get 1 point for every demon unit you kill. So
nice.
Yeah. That's a
pretty
great
good.
secondary to just pop in.
1 point for every demon you kill? Is it like more
Minimum.
in some situations?
Yeah. Depending on whether it's a character, monster vehicle, whether
What
it was
about
a
Demon Primarch?
Demon Primarch is 4 points. Oh, it's 5 points, I think.
Ooh.
It's 4 or 5 points. for
Poor
Demon.
Magnus. It's never been the same.
Yeah, well, he got smited by the Grey. Super smited by the Grey Knights.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
They were not willing to. He would have been dead from psych out grenades if I could cause perils on Magnus. But
Magnus does not suffer perils.
I want stealth suits and smaller crisis teams and vehicles to be more of a thing. Yeah, like a mix of everything. It's supposed to be a combined arms force that's based around mobility and.
I mean,
and
I
quick
think
strikes.
9th edition in general has done a good job with their books.
Yeah, I agree.
So you certainly have that possibility.
In 2 years, Necrons will get a chance to get new rules in 10th edition. They really do need more than most armies that have come out, they need a supplement.
Yes.
They need a supplement.
I can think of several codexes that didn't need a supplement.
Yes. Or 2 supplements.
Or 2. I hate you.
Well, I'm going to give away the Cult Mechanicus defense cohort. You can have that back. I'll keep the other ones.
Well, Metallica.
I'm keeping Metallica. You can have the defense.
And the defense. The Skitarii veteran cohort.
No, I'm just going to keep the Metallica stuff. You get the Cult Mechanicus.
Yeah, you literally got 3 different campaign supplements in 2 different campaigns.
Well, one of them is bad.
Well, that makes up for it.
One of them is
Only
bad,
2
yeah.
of them were broken.
Are there any factions which aren't especially strong in 1v1 that get significantly better in team formats?
I think Tyranids.
Yeah, I mean, armies that have a couple weak matchups but are strong into the field, those are the armies that would do well. So, Tyranids have a couple bad matchups, especially with the Demacarian build.
But they've got some great ones.
But yeah, they have some very good ones. Tau is another one. Like, if I don't have to play against Sister, I think Sister's the hardest matchup for Tau because the bodyguard rule is so abusive. But without having to play against Sisters...
Well, I mean, I feel like Tau got a lot better in Sisters because they don't use Miracle Dice anymore.
According to Nick.
According to Nick.
According to Nemesis Nick.
Sisters do not use Miracle Dice.
He never uses Miracle Dice. He's never done it. It's shocking. But, yes. I think that's the hardest matchup, and if you avoid it, I think, actually, the Tau list that I ran has quite a bit of play into the meta.
For sure.
So yeah, some of the lower factions definitely do get better in team events.
I would 100% agree with that.
Necrons too. Just an army full of OBSEC, durable OBSEC all over the board. There is some
as well. You get them into the armies that have 1 phase of damage, like Custodes.
Yep, there's
That's
just some
terrible.
armies that can't deal with it, and
Yeah.
Void Dragon just walks into their army and never relents.
Nope.
Forget about the Night.
Although if he hadn't healed that extra wound, I would have killed him.
Yeah.
100%. He would have died.
I don't think so.
No, he would have been shot by all of the 3 damage guns and then charged by the 3 damage dreadnought.
He was hidden on that side.
I was gonna touch. I could just touch the ground.
I could have move blocked you.
No, you had nothing over there.
Yeah, I had that second unit of 20 warriors.
They weren't
But
getting all the way over.
I wasn't gonna try.
They were not getting
I
all
don't
the way
care
over
if he
there.
died.
I would have killed him.
Nightbringer lives.
The Nightbringer was gonna live. That's not happening.
He almost tried to fail that charge.
Yeah, he really
Snake
did.
Eyes.
He
That's why you put the models 1.1 away. You don't have to worry about Snake Eyes.
With just over 3 months to go, how much does Nick have left to paint on the Harlequins? Army minus 3 models.
He did 3 models, I believe.
He did do 3 models.
3 models. It's impressive.
Classy Badger, I cannot tell you how excited I am about that bet.
Once again, what does he have to do if he doesn't get the army done?
We haven't discussed that, but I think we should bring it up sooner than later
like-
before he realizes that he's behind schedule already.
I hope. What does chat have?
Yeah, chat. What do you think would happen if Nick were to fail to pay up on a bet? I feel like it would. I think I get to choose his army at LVO. Right? Like, it's just his faction.
New Tau book comes out and explains scour a Tau army.
New Tau don't come out. Nick still plays Tau. Yeah.
That's what you want to see.
You know what, Richard? You're right. That is what I want to see. It's exactly what I want to happen.
What'll even be better is if the Codex is actually good and
it isn't in play, and he has to play Old Tau.
No, Nick recognizes it and still can't perform with it.
Oh.
He has claimed that my Farsight lists have been broken since Farsight started getting rules, and boy has he...
That's how I was able to pull off the first
He believed it so vehemently.
He thought he could challenge my journey. Like, come on, Richard does this through hard-earned reps. Like, no, it's not the same.
This is not a pick-up-and-play army.
Yeah.
And then he found out real hard.
He did. Unfortunately for Nick, he did find out.
Was that the closet?
Yeah, that's how he got him in the
That
closet.
was the first closet.
That was the first time. You'll see the Custodes rumors today. I did see them, Michael. I genuinely hope that they're accurate. They were rooming like Guardian Spears going to flat 3 damage, Custodes gaining an attack. Custodes losing +1 Invuln as a army-wide ability, but gaining a 4+ against mortal wounds. Which, you know what?
4+ is where I'm actually very interested.
That, I am
5
very interested in that. 5-up is good.
It's good, but 4-up,
4-up,
we're getting tasty now.
Also because Custodes only get in the Psychic phase, which is weird right now. If it became an enemy phase, I like it a lot more.
Make Nick roll for his data sheets like Eric did last weekend. That would be great.
Yeah, he picks the faction and we make...
Yeah, and it's like single battalion he has to go through.
Snivar, if I make Nick play Gene Circle and he ends up in a higher place than me, then Nick will have earned this. It's very simple. Like, the goal here is not to humiliate Nick, it's to encourage him to grow.
Yes.
And also encourage him to paint his gosh darn Harlequin army.
It's been over a year.
It's been over a year.
Like, please, John and I have painted like 4 separate, 4 or 5 armies.
I have painted at least 3 different 2,000 point lists from scratch in that time.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done one.
I painted Blood Angels, a ton of AdMech models, Grey Knights. I did...
I made a Sisters list appear out of
Custodes.
thin air. I've done so many Marines. Got a full Knight list. I got a full Tyrant list.
And I did the Necrons, too.
A full Death Watch army, again, out of thin air. like not like building on, like 3 separate 2,000 point lists out of thin air, and then I built up Space Marine and Tyranid collections significantly.
Yeah. This is the backbone of seeing models.
Absolutely.
If you want to see models on the table, this is where it happens.
This is the combo. 100% factual. God, Nick rolling his data sheets. Like, I think that may be the punishment.
Yeah, he can pick the faction, but he has
No, I think we roll the faction.
We
and
roll,
he rolls,
we
and
roll
he rolls the data sheet.
Get the D20 out, John.
Absolutely. We would get a D20. We would narrow that thing down. And
if there's any leftover, it's all Tau at the end.
Oh, yeah, any leftovers is Tau, 100%. It's like... Because like, we'll just... Space Marines.
Yep.
Guard, AdMech, Sisters, Knights. Grey
Chaos
Knights. So that's 6 Imperium factions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's Chaos Knights, Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines.
Death Guard 1,000 Suns.
Alright, Death Guard 1,000 Suns. So we're at 11. And then it's Craft World, Drukhari, Harlequins, Tyranids, Gene Circle, we'll be Carrion. Orcs, Tau?
Yep, Necrons.
Necrons, and then Tau.
Yep.
Alright, yeah, I think it's fair.
You got Tyranids and GC in there?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Tau is the last.
Yeah, Tau's the last 3. Tau.
He's gonna roll it.
And like we're gonna make him roll it on a stream, and then we're gonna make him roll out the. As soon as we do, like we're just gonna grab the Codex for the fact that it's like you're rolling this right now.
Oh, can you imagine him rolling for Tau? There is so much garbage in there, John.
No.
It's
oh,
not
Ziegler,
even real.
no.
How many Ghost Keels can we get him to roll? The Storm Surge. Seriously.
It would be incredible.
Can we include the Forge World stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect.
I think so.
I don't have any Barracudas or Tiger Sharks, but man, they are terrible now.
Yeah.
They are so bad.
Yeah.
Nick has to play like a random flyer list. Oh, if he gets like the Sunshark bombers and the jet fighters.
Oh, that'd be
Good time.
tragic right there, yeah.
Yeah, I also don't have those.
Well, we would get them.
Yeah, we would get them.
We'd find a way. Can't be that hard to get them right now, right? Someone's selling them used.
Oh, they must be in stock.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I asked for the bombers a while ago, and Warfire's like, we don't have them. I was like, yeah, I expect you don't stock them too often.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not gone back to that because I was gonna run like a Remora's bomber list, and then I was like, oh, the bombers just suck.
Yeah, it's just a fact of life. If Nick doesn't roll the 8, we right.
Oh,
Lyle!
my-
Lyle, you're right!
The 8. We actually had to. Mark had to play the 8. But man, it would have been great if Nick had to play the 8 because there's so many rules and they're all terribly pointless.
If Nick doesn't paint the Harlequin army, he has to play the 8 at LVR.
It's too many rules, John. He won't. And they're so bad. You don't get any of. You auto start down CP and you can't buy any extra relics.
Yeah.
Any of the good ones.
They're a Lord of War choice, right?
Yeah, but
they don't think
they count. It's specifically written into their rules that they count as because they each get like each of them comes with relics, so you can't buy any more.
Yeah, but like it's only 1 CP then to include them because the super heavy auxiliary is 1 CP now.
No, yeah, it's 1 CP now, but
Model
still,
time.
losing access to losing access to that would be brutal. The prototype systems.
Yeah. God, what if we got Nick to play?
Ovesa is so bad without the prototype relic ion weapon.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Also, as a real nemesis, wouldn't he make somebody else paint his armies? He has tried. Don't worry about that.
Not to worry.
The lovely Chris Frost has helped a lot.
Frosty Forge is a saint. No arguments there.
$5 super chat from Clown Mode. Are you going to make him roll for Warlord trait and Relic? Why not? The Tau ones have
know what?
There's
Why
so
not?
many bad Warlord traits in there. Like, the chances of him getting the one good one, minimal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then not to mention the Relics. They're all over the place.
Yeah, no, we can.
But if he runs the 8, he can't run Relics.
No, I mean you could take more commanders at that point, right? Why not?
No, you literally can't buy any more Relics if you take the 8.
But like for someone besides the 8?
Yeah, for somebody.
No.
It's because Farsa the 8 comes with relics inbuilt into these characters.
So you can't buy more relics for
period,
anyone else.
Which means you can't access prototype systems.
No.
Yes. It's a very good competitive thing.
That's insane. How is this possible?
How does Art of War approach building a new army for your testing? Do you tend to pick up everything in the faction or just pick stuff towards a specific 2K list and then slowly add? Great question, because we have a video coming out on that on the YouTube channel.
Oh,
so look forward to that in the next
exciting.
2 weeks. All the main things you need to think about when designing a list. But little teaser, you definitely start with the list concept first. What is my army actually trying to achieve within a particular book? So start with the faction you want to play, and what does this army actually do well? You know, what style fits mine? And then you go from there and start building up
I'm
particular
excited.
choices.
I wasn't part of that recording. I'm excited to watch the video.
Where can I read Custodian's Rumors? I believe it was posted on...
I just saw it in someone was just Facebook chatting me, yeah.
Maybe one of the competitive 40K on Facebook or Reddit.
It's almost certainly on Reddit.
It probably one of those.
Yeah.
The 8. I'd have to paint up.
The 8 aren't already painted?
No, I have to get a bunch of Crisis Commanders because they have bizarre war gear options.
Yeah.
Like random...
What did we do last time? Because I remember Mark had to play the 8.
I just gave him Cyclic
Crisis
Ion
Six.
Commanders and told him
What they were?
put a sheet next to them for what they have.
Yeah, it's close enough.
I think Mark was honestly just like, he basically ignored everybody else and ran Farsight straight into Nick and killed like a lot of stuff with just Farsight.
Shockingly. I believe that the Iron Warriors Obliterators won the day, though.
They did win the day.
Yep. Good for them. It's
They're
very
not,
powerful. Army.
Iron Warrior Obliterators are not as bad as the 8.
That's true.
That is confirmed.
It's 100% true.
The 8 is the worst data sheet in the game.
I'm like trying to think of something else.
like
what about a Knight Porphyrion?
It still does damage.
Yeah, okay. But like it can only hold one objective at a time. I mean, like what about like a Warhound?
Maybe the Warhound.
Maybe the Warhound, right?
Maybe the Warhound.
Yeah, the Warhound's got to be worse.
Yeah, one model in an army is not going to work, even though there's that one guy out there. Who
There
tries
is that one dude. He's not trying to be competitive. He just
No,
loves his
he
Warhound.
just loves his Warhound. Man, is it hard to win a 9th edition mission with a Warhound.
Yeah. I think a Warhound could probably hold 2 objectives at once. It's big enough.
Yeah, but it's a single model.
Can a single model not hold?
No, it has to be different. That's why you can string out to touch, because 2 different models are holding the different objectives, but one model cannot hold 2.
Curses.
So that's just, he's going to get 5 on primary until it's dead.
Well, no, he can get 10s if he's holding more.
If they're holding no objectives, I gotta think, what army is he playing against?
Another Warhound.
Another Warhound. Why are they not on the objective?
You killed them. Went first to like...
He gets more than a 10, then he gets 15.
No, you get one for holding 5, one for holding more. You still don't hold 2.
He's not holding more, they're both holding 1.
No, if he kills the other Warhound, he gets a 10.
Yes. He gets a 10s in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Do Warhounds kill Warhounds very efficiently? Or
I don't know.
Is this like a staring contest?
I don't know I don't know Warhound.
Would they just wound each other's void shields?
Just... What makes you think I know what a Warhound does?
You're supposed to know, John.
You know, we can find an answer if you're.
You know how my purpose is to make Savior Protocol rolls? Your purpose is to know all the data sheets in the game.
Look, I know some obscure rules out here, but I don't know all of them.
Worst data sheet? The 8 is much worse than the Monolith. I would run the Monolith before the 8.
I actually like the Monolith.
If it still had fly, it wouldn't be horrific.
I've been trying to get Richard to run a Monolith.
It doesn't have fly, John.
I know it doesn't.
It only moves 8 inches. It can't move anywhere. You literally can't get it out of your deployment
zone.
If
you paint it, I will play it on stream.
Into what?
I don't care.
Nick's
Solemn promise. Yeah, you know what? Someone make this happen. Someone subscriber pick a game with the Monolith so that Richard has to paint it. And I will play it.
I had to build it first.
You do have to build it, but I don't care.
Its box is like this big.
Yeah, it's huge. I want to play a Monolith.
How do you guys feel? Monolith, like triple... Get the Tesseract Vault in there somehow.
Tell you what, no, if you play the 8, I'll play a Monolith. Right?
The Monolith is better than the 8.
Okay, well, let's find out.
How do you guys feel about Thousand Suns competitively? I've been having a blast surprising people locally. Like, it's not a bad book.
Yeah.
It might struggle at the top end just because its mobility primarily comes through Warp Time and Cult of Duplicity. Mm-hmm. But that can be enough to carry you through. Like, Scarab Cults are very strong. Yeah. Their Psychic Phase is awesome. I think Sisters is a tough matchup for them, for sure.
That's a fact.
So if your local meta doesn't have Sisters, I think they can absolutely shine. What about Eldar Phoenix Lords? They're cheap, though. Like, I have to pay over 1,000 points for the 8. I can't buy any extra relics, and it's not good. And they also have crap war gear. Like, if it was a bunch of commanders and you could customize what war gear they take, it would actually be good. Mm-hmm. But it's not.
How is that?
The one guy has like 1 plasma rifle and a flamer. Like, please.
Oh god, I forgot that guy. Is that Torch Star?
Yeah.
No, Torch Star is like double flamer, I think, right?
No, Torch Star is the flamers.
Flamer.
There's one guy who's just like plasma flamer. I'm like, why?
But he has relics.
Yeah, he probably has like +1 to hit on there or something because they have all the random.
You know what he does? He gives reroll 1s to hit to some Tau units. It's like
he's got the multi-tracker.
Tau with their 7 different reroll 1s to hit.
The multi-tracker, John. It's a legitimate piece of war gear that you've never seen taken.
It's true.
It tracks multiple. Except it's putting reroll 1s on a single target. How is it multi-tracking? What is this?
It's the worst thing.
The Warhound Turbo Laser Destructor, 72-inch range, heavy 2d3.
Blast?
Strength 16, AP 4, d6 plus 3. I don't know if it's blast, but that won't help against...
d6 plus 3. I honestly was expecting better.
Me too. I was expecting
like
flat 6 plus 3.
Yeah.
But
it's not like...
It's only 2d3 shots, but I assume they have 2 of them.
It's got to have 2, yeah.
So 4d3 of those shots.
It's probably ballistic skill 2. But it doesn't reroll anything, like, ever, because it doesn't have any keywords.
It's a shame the Forge World Titanic units lost the... if this big macro gun it goes into a Titanic unit,
doubles the damage. Did they lose that? I thought that still was around.
I think that's gone. I
think
they just upgraded the profiles.
I haven't...
The Towner, I don't believe, gets it.
Oh,
so
well,
I
good.
think it just exists. But,
what was it? It was macro weapons, right?
Yeah, it's macro weapons.
Yeah, macro weapons. It's like, here's a new weapon type that we didn't think would jump.
Lyle says he has big plans for the October donations. Might want to get that obelisk painted.
Lyle. Did the obelisk? No.
The obelisk is the monolith. We'll do the monolith. Let us do the monolith.
Like
the obelisk is
Nemesaur Nick with a monolith into the 8. Come on. Like, it doesn't.
Like I said, the monolith is actually not horrifically bad like the 8. It actually does damage. It just
I love the monolith.
It doesn't have an invuln. So.
I think people should take the monolith more. How many wounds is it? 18?
No, it's more than 18.
More than 18.
It has to be more than 18.
Well, that's good because 18 is the worst number.
Yeah, it's not 16.
That's good. Yeah, well,
for sure. It is not benefiting from obscuring. It's just being seen. And God, I hope I don't play against Iron Striders.
Yeah, I think that every day.
Then it blows up in your deployment zone. It's every model.
It's a D6
I assume it's D6.
Meant Monolith? Lyle, my man. Lyle. Oh, God. Lyle, I just want you to troll. Troll properly, okay?
Troll properly.
I don't know
Get
who
Nemesis
is going to
making
play
points.
the Necrons. I don't know what they're going against. I just want it to be good. I would be happy to play Necrons, but I would also be happy to be on the computer when Nemesis or Nick takes the field. Because it's just a privilege to watch his tactical genius in action.
Well, I am all good.
All right, let's wrap it up.
So thanks everybody for joining us today. We got some awesome stuff coming up this week. It's a bit of a truncated week, as you can see by the schedule. But we've got, if you're in the War Room, Meta Monday coming up. Then we have 40K Today on YouTube, which is going to be Ascari and Brad Chester, breaking down all the cool things that happened over the past week and things to look forward to in the coming week. And then we have tomorrow a YouTube game. That is going to be Nick playing Grey Knights up against Jack Harpster playing Drukhari. And then there's a Space Marine Clinic, followed by a Know Thy Enemy session, which is focused on Drukhari. All the tips and tricks you need to know to beat the various Drukhari armies that we see at the top tables.
Absolutely.
Then on Wednesday, we in the War Room, we got a stress testing event. That is Nick playing Grey Knights versus John's Ultramarines.
Might even be some White Scars as well, since it's a stress test.
Yes, indeed. And then we've got the pros and cons live debate. Do you know the topic this week, John?
We have several topics. I know that some of the ones we're going to be talking about is talking out games at a tournament, as well as what armies are best on the GW terrain format. Brad is already turning his eye to the New Orleans Open.
I like it.
Lots of stuff on tap there.
And then we've got the War Room Social, which is a live conference gathering for the coaches and our War Room members. And then on the end of the week, we've got a Drukhari Clinic, Hive Mind Clinic with Alex McDougall talking about the list that he's been doing so well with and winning GTs somehow, just due to impressive play. And then we have a team tournament breakdown, which is going to lead to the Las Vegas Teams event, which we're traveling to this weekend.
Absolutely. I am so excited for that.
So hope to see everybody there. Thanks so much for joining us, and hope to see you next time.
See you next time.
We're going to send you off to a promo of the War Room if you're interested in joining.
Dive even deeper into competitive 40K and become a member of the world's most knowledgeable and positive community.
The War Room is an exclusive group that brings together the world's best 40K players as coaches to help anyone from a newer player to an experienced tournament veteran learn, grow, and reach their goals within our shared hobby.
Each week we offer a variety of live stream coaching matches centered around illuminating the thought process and in-game decision making of top players. We explain everything we're doing and why.
You'll learn about the ever-evolving meta, match play mission theory, list making, and discussion of every faction in the game, and have access to analysis of all the latest rules. Our team of highly experienced coaches teach weekly clinics on each individual faction, strategy sessions on deployment and cool tricks, and meta-analyses each week during Meta Monday.
We are committed to not only providing the best knowledge for players available, but also building a one-of-a-kind community.
Come be a part of the War Room.
Hello everyone, we are Art of War.
And we believe in creating a community where people can talk about, learn, and improve their skills at Warhammer 40K.
Our channel has live stream competitive matches of 40K played by the best players in the world.
And we focus on teaching you how to get better at Warhammer while also emphasizing sportsmanship and engagement with our audience.
We strive to play every faction in the game to a top level, while also using a variety of lists to show off different playstyles for every faction.
We also offer a variety of other videos such as Codex reviews, faction rankings, and tactics videos.
When you join our channel, you become part of our community, where we emphasize learning and positive conversation about competitive 40K.
You get early access to our videos, sub badges, emotes, as well as rewatch those Hangout and Hobby sessions.
Joining our community is a great way for you to show your support for us, so we can keep making awesome videos for you and continuously expand the bounds of competitive 40K.